Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, November 18, 2021, Thursday. It's time now 3:35 a.m. early morning, 3:35. मैं सूरज सिंह भारत इंडिया से बोल रहा हूँ। आज 18 नवंबर 2021 थर्सडे सुबह 3:35-36 और क्वालिटी एंड सेफ्टी एज यूजल टॉक ऑफ quality for each item and safety as we discuss in title of talk being civil field engineering in a combination of language Hindi and English, somewhere Hindi, somewhere English, and life related. What about engineers? What about quality? And what about contracts, red and silver and others? Designs, construction methods, contracts, organizations, communications, coordinations. ये सब बातों में डिस्कस करना पड़ेगा। गुणवत्ता क्या है, सेफ्टी क्या है, इंजीनियर्स क्या हैं और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स क्या हैं, संचार और आप कह सकते हैं तालमेल बिठाना. वी हैव टू डिस्कस ऑल दीज इन डिफरेंट मोड्स and these certifications as I display on here. These certifications of course value a lot in our life, and if you want to write to me something about profession or some other questions about quality or safety or something which you think is of interest to you, you can write to me to this mail suraj underscore, don't forget underscore, engineer at yahoo.co.uk. I repeat, suraj suraj underscore engineer at yahoo.co.uk. I am writing UK because when I got this mail, it was that I didn't know about what was difference, but by chance I opened site of Ireland. I got this, no problem. I'm very well Bharatvasi Indian. I never been to Ireland, so don't worry about that. This is my, you can say, professional announcement of Chartered Engineer India. I have been Chartered Engineer India, you can say, since 1981. Then I become AMI. In 1986 I became MI, that's another class of Chartered Engineer, that's Member of Institution of Engineers. So first level was AMI, that is Associate Member of Institution of Engineers India. Second level was Member of Institution of Engineers India. Then in 2016 I got FIE, that is Fellow of Institution of Engineers, that is this one, Fellow of Institution of Engineers. So there are three categories: AMIE, MIE and FIE. And of course I got Chartered Engineer certificate. Once you are a corporate member, you are statutory, you are by charter allowed to use this designation, and if you request institution, you can be given this certificate, that is Chartered Engineer India, and that is this one, you can say Chartered Engineer certificate, which is by virtue of qualifications, professional training and corporate membership of this institution, such person is given this Chartered Engineer India, and of course from which engineering division it gives. And this is, then you can say, another certificate which is fellow membership. It can be membership M, here is fellow, it can be member, it can be associate member. There are three classes here, this just for explanation, like your knowledge means why I show all this. And this other certificate is professional engineer or international professional. Two categories are there. Professional engineer means everybody can be professional engineer who has got certain competency of 5 years say minimum in profession of engineering, and depending on continuous professional development one can apply for professional engineer India status. And of course there is international professional engineer India, that means at least 7 years experience post qualification, and depending on what CPD you have you can become that. So there are three categories. मैंने बताया आपको, एक तो है ये जो मेरा बोर्ड है, आपने देखा इंटरनेशनल मेंबरशिप, तो हम कहते हैं चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर इंडिया, AMI होती है, MI होती है, FI होती है. तीन कैटेगरी सीनियरिटी के हिसाब से, एक्सपीरियंस के हिसाब से, और चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर इंडिया तीनों हैं. AMI भी चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर है, MI भी चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर है, और FI भी चार्टर्ड इंजीनियर है. इसके पश्चात आपको मिलते हैं दूसरे सर्टिफिकेट. प्रोफेशनल इंजीनियर मिलता है उनको जो 5 साल काम कर चुके हैं कंप्यूटर्स के हिसाब से और जिनका आगे बढ़ने का तय है, सीखते जाते हैं. और इंटरनेशनल प्रोफेशनल, इंटरनेशनल स्टैंडर्ड है ये, इंटरनेशनल एसोसिएशन के हिसाब से है, इंटरनेशनल बॉडी है, एग्रीमेंट है, इसको बोलते हैं IPEA, इंटरनेशनल प्रोफेशनल इंजीनियर्स एग्रीमेंट। उसके अंदर उसके साथ एसोसिएट है परमानेंट मेंबर इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ इंजीनियर्स, भारत को प्रतिनिधित्व करता है, दैट रिप्रेजेंट्स इंडिया एज फार एज international professional engineer is concerned, and this register of international professional engineer as far as India is concerned, Bharat is concerned, is maintained by Institution of Engineers India, which is a chartered body, and this is a chartered body, you can say. It was incorporated by Royal Charter in 1935. It's only for your information I'm giving you, because people should know what I'm talking about. This is an institution which you can say it was established in 1920, and it later on given Royal Charter by King George V in those days, and this Royal Charter is still valid and has been valid. So I can just for your information explain this one. You want to see on the I got Institution of Engineers, this Institution of India, here incorporated by Royal Charter 1935 and established in 1920. So it is about 100 years now it is going to cover. In this 100 years journey, it has not done miracles, but it used to grant certain educate people who could not afford engineering degrees directly. And of course, it's our system. It's you can say system that helps nation, and it's duty of every member. There may be hundreds and thousands of members, lakhs of members of this member of certain association. You are in touch, you keep in touch with development. That's very important, because in engineering development is very important. If you don't keep in touch with development what's happening in technology, what's happening around the world, you miss a lot, because like continuous education, it is continuous development. It is what's happening in technology, what's happening in society, what's happening in law, what's happening in safety, what's happening in quality. All this you have to know, because each and every part is integrated with engineering. Without safety, engineering cannot move, and without quality, engineering cannot move, and without procedures, engineering cannot move, and without technology, engineering cannot move. बिना टेक्निकोलॉजी के, बिना तकनीकी ज्ञान के, तकनीकी जो आविष्कार हो रहे हैं नए नए, उसके जाने बिना आप आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते। जब तक गुणवत्ता आपके काम में नहीं, आप आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते। और आप कह सकते हैं जब तक सेफ्टी नहीं है, सुरक्षा नहीं है आपके काम में, आप आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते। आपको लोगों का देखना है, अपने वर्कर्स का देखना है, अपनी मशीन का देखना है, अपने काम का देखना है, ये सब देखना है। इंजीनियरिंग के उसमें आता है समाज कैसा चल रहा है, किसकी क्या आवश्यकता है, हमें कहाँ समझ, वो सब होना बहुत आवश्यक है। नहीं तो आप कुछ नहीं करते। आप बहुत बड़े अध्यापक है समाज के। इंजीनियर अध्यापक भी होता है, क्योंकि वो सिखाता है सिस्टम क्या है, कैसे क्वालिटी लेनी चाहिए, कैसे काम करना चाहिए, टाइम की ना परवाह करके काम की परवाह करनी चाहिए। ये सब इंजीनियर्स की एजुकेशन सिखाती है, इंजीनियर्स की शिक्षा सिखाती है। क्वालिटी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। अगर इंजीनियरिंग नहीं होगी तो क्वालिटी भी नहीं होगी, क्वालिटी नहीं होगी तो लाइफ भी नहीं होगी। ये बात हमको सोचनी चाहिए। ये कोई वैसी स्पीच मैं नहीं दे रहा, मैं सिर्फ फैक्ट बता रहा हूँ आपको कि इंजीनियरिंग जो है कोई फेथ पे बिलीव नहीं करती है, इंजीनियरिंग कोई धर्म पे बिलीव नहीं करती है, इंजीनियरिंग वर्क पे बिलीव करती है, फैक्ट्स पे, सच्चाई क्या है वो देखती है, इस मेटेरियल की क्या प्रॉपर्टी है वो देखती है, और डिज़ाइन होता है। इसी तरह से इंजीनियरिंग में ख्यालों में नहीं होता कि हमने कोई कहानी सुनाई, जैसे लोग सुनाते हैं और आप मान लीजिए, मानने वाली बात नहीं है। यहाँ सबूत चाहिए, यहाँ हमें साक्ष्य चाहिए। We have to establish evidence about whatever we say that's right or wrong. If concrete cannot take tension, it cannot take tension. If concrete take compression, concrete take compression. अगर कंक्रीट दबाव ले सकती है, खिंचाव नहीं ले सकती, ये उसकी प्रॉपर्टी है, उसको कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता। ये कहने का मतलब ये है कि सच्चाई ही इंजीनियरिंग है। इंजीनियरिंग सच्चाई के बिना नहीं जा सकती, लेकिन जो झूठ दिखाना चाहते हैं लोगों को, दुनिया को, विश्व को, वो अपने आप धोखा देते हैं, अपने आप को ऐसा समझते हैं कि हम ही सब कुछ प्रबंध कर सकते हैं, जबकि ऐसा सच नहीं है। इंजीनियरिंग में प्रबंधन अपने आप का होता है। इंजीनियरिंग का अलग प्रबंधन है, जो वैसे प्रबंधन से नहीं माना जाता है। ये प्रबंधन, ये मैनेजमेंट अलग है। You have to understand all these points very well in engineering, and engineering is also इसलिए I have to say that we be very serious about this issue, and that's why certification has got some meaning, and I close certification now because certification purpose is gone. So I say this certification is meant only to show you what is that, and the quality is a very important point that we can always stick to. And for me, quality is engineering, and engineering is quality, and safety is quality, and safety is engineering, and we can say contracts is root of everything, because without contracts works cannot be done, and engineering means work should be done. Even if you design something, if you plan something, if you do something, Doing is execution, and doing is contracts, and doing is work, and work doing is done by complete resource. It's not doing by one resource. To this I can, okay, give me some project, I will do myself. I cannot say that मैं नहीं कर सकते, आइए मुझे आप अपना प्रोजेक्ट दीजिए, मैं अकेला कर दूँ. ऐसा नहीं होता है. इवन डिजाइंस में भी ऐसा नहीं होता है. वन मैन कैन नॉट डू एवरीथिंग. इट्स अ ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल, इट्स अ टीम, इट्स अ crew that works for whatever project, small or big. So we have to understand this point very well. If you don't understand this point, we miss something. And that's why I'm trying to explain to you what is quality, what is safety, what is engineering, what is approach, what is, how to take care from accidents, how to take care from good, bad work, and how to use energy, how to think, and all that comes under purview of quality. Means system is quality, but every part of system must also stick to quality, and that's very important. That's why we say we have to understand contracting, and contracting is very, very important. I tried to explain to you, I tried many times to explain to you what's contracting, and contracting is actually a part of engineering. It's not something commercial only. Commercial, of course, it is, but this being commercial means because it's a business for people and nothing can be given free, but it's very expensive. Civil engineering is very expensive like this, and there are other engineering like mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, which produce machines and other issues without which cannot move. Services and structures required, facilities are constructed, and all those, every branch of engineering is involved in that, particularly for foundations, for development. Civil engineering is involved for machines, mechanical engineering is involved for electrical supply, electrical engineering. Likewise, this IT is involved, and you can see surveillance is involved, CCTV, etc. So every plant facility is different. So we have to understand this. हमारी बात समझने की आवश्यकता है. हम जब तक नहीं समझेंगे कुछ समझ नहीं आएगा. इसलिए क्वालिटी फाइल में मैं दिखाता हूँ आपको याद दिलाने के लिए, जस्ट टू रिमाइंड यू व्हाट इज क्वालिटी. एंड गुणवत्ता के बिना कुछ नहीं हो सकता, सारे काम गलत हो जाते हैं. वट एवर वर्क वी डू विदाउट कंसिडरिंग क्वालिटी इन टू आवर वर्क, वी कैन नॉट से वर्क हैज बीन डन राइटली. एंड देयरफॉर वी हैव टू कीप आवरसेल्फ सेफ फ्रॉम एक्सीडेंट्स, एंड वी हैव टू कीप आवरसेल्फ सेफ फ्रॉम बैड क्वालिटी. We should not worry about bad quality, we should worry about good quality. How to give quality, that's better one. Quality means reality, and without quality, whatever work we do, whatever production we do, whatever manufacturing we do, whatever construction we do, all is futile if there doesn't access quality in that. And our energies go waste, our materials go waste, everything goes waste. That's what I say. And quality in construction, quality in production, quality in manufacturing, quality in services, quality in education, quality in society, and quality in individual. Quality in communication, coordination, quality required everywhere and every activity of life and in engineering. And it's very important. How many points I'm saying? See, we say construction so must have a lot of quality. Same way production is in factory or in manufacturing, which must be quality based. If not quality based, production is a lot work. And production can be part of machine, it can be complete machine, it can be whatever, and say it must have quality, it must have manufacturing, must not have manufacturing defect, and manufacturing defects should be separated from that. It cannot be used in after being manufactured. So services, but services provide design services, provide construction services, or provide whatever service must have certain quality system. And in education itself, quality must be inculcated, which has not been so far. Quality was such a good one at the moment. Now, quality has been considered in relation to commerce, and this doesn't mean anything. Quality in education is very original. It should be there in quality in society. Society should have quality of system, some acceptance. There are rituals, there are everything, but we are talking of certain scientific system, which means is related to economy, is related to engineering. And as an engineer, one should have quality system in itself, because regularity, punctuality, intelligence, timely work, all this is required as an individual. और without system we cannot move. It's also perfect. हम बिना system बनाए आगे नहीं चल सकते. System का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि हम कोई फ्रेम खड़ा कर दें. System का मतलब होता है हम अपने आप को कैसे adopt करें change circumstances, because change is always there. Change never stops. Change goes on and on, like time moves on and on. So change is moving on. So change is the name of engineering, and engineering is the name of change, that we have to understand. Quality in communication, coordination is a very important part of life, because communication, coordination exists everywhere. You communicate to your brother, your sister, your family, your society, your nation, whosoever, in chat, on the internet, or wherever, it is all communication. What type of communication should be, how it should be made? You have to use some standard language, you have to see some ethics on that. So coordination is the part where work is done, where communications come in time. You don't say, oh, I got this letter after I did work, so that doesn't mean anything. If you say I got the information, my work was done, work have been done, I got the information, मेरे को ये प्राप्त कब हुई, इन्फॉर्मेशन काम हो चुका था. ऐसा क्या मतलब? इसका मतलब कुछ भी नहीं है कि आपका कम्युनिकेशन बेकार हो गया. आपका कम्युनिकेशन टाइम में नहीं पहुंच पाया, आपने सही नहीं भेजा और कोऑर्डिनेशन फेल हो गई, मीन्स दिस फेलियर ऑफ कोऑर्डिनेशन. इफ वर्क हैज बीन डन एंड वेयर इन्फॉर्मेशन वाज नॉट अवेलेबल, or I worked according to wrong information, not competent information, not informed the permitted that was approved for construction. I could not do that. I did wrong work. I means based on informative drawing or based on subject drawing, I did that work. So that's called failure of communication as well as failure of coordination. You could not communicate properly and you could not coordinate properly, and that's what's said. It's a very important point. Understand this. क्वालिटी रिक्वायर्ड एवरीवेयर, हर जगह क्वालिटी चाहिए, चाहे आपका कुछ भी काम हो, क्वालिटी रिक्वायर्ड एवरीवेयर, आवश्यकता है उसकी इन एवरी एक्टिविटी. लाइफ की कोई भी एक्टिविटी उसमें क्वालिटी चाहिए. वो इंजीनियरिंग की क्वालिटी हो, कोई और क्वालिटी आपको चाहिए ही चाहिए. एंड इंजीनियरिंग इज ए मस्ट, यू कैन से. एंड लाइफ इज इंजीनियरिंग, जिंदगी तो इंजीनियरिंग ही है, उससे चलती है, उसके बिना चल नहीं सकती. आज के समय में अगर आपके घर में बिजली नहीं है, लाइट नहीं है, लाइट पावर नहीं है, तो क्या आप रह सकेंगे? नहीं रह सकेंगे, कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो लाइट कहाँ से आती है, करंट कहाँ से आता है, पावर कहाँ से आती है? पावर इंजीनियरिंग से आती है, पावर हाउस से आती है. पावर इज ए प्रोसेसिंग प्लांट ऑफ इंजीनियरिंग, सप्लाई फॉर लाइट. So that is engineering based. All branches of engineering come and focus there. So life is engineering based, which means that engineering domain of super life. Engineering is super life. So of course it's super life. Profession like medical is domain of super profession. That's why I say health, safety, environment, engineering works all come together to give you life. It is necessary that it is essential that quality is required everywhere. And without safety, nothing can move. Whatever you do doesn't mean anything. So we can say life is engineering, and engineering life. It may be production or industrial work or construction. It is essential everywhere. I will not go to details of this again and again because we have done a lot on this. I'll improve this file, come to you then. So we can say everywhere, but what's important is quality is essential. It is a must in every work, and no one has got any right to give undue pains to others. हमें कोई अधिकार नहीं है कि हम दूसरों को दर्द दें बिना उनके मतलब के. कोई भी दर्द किसको क्यों दिया जाए? No one has got any right to condemn quality requirements. किसी को ये अधिकार नहीं है कि मैं इस क्वालिटी की आवश्यकता को कंडम करता हूँ, गलत कहता हूँ. Because quality is also paid for when product is purchased. हम जब कोई भी वस्तु खरीदते हैं, कोई भी चीज़ खरीदते हैं, उसके पैसे देते हैं, और वो पैसे उसके अंदर जो मटेरियल यूज़ किया गया है, जो तकनीक यूज़ की गई है, और उसके अंदर जो क्वालिटी डाली गई है, वो पैसे उन सब के लिए होते हैं. खाली मटेरियल के लिए नहीं होते, क्वालिटी के लिए भी होते हैं, हर वस्तु के लिए होते हैं, उसकी लाइफ के लिए होते हैं, वो कैसा काम करेगी उसके लिए होते हैं. No one has got any right to condemn quality requirements because quality is also paid for when product is purchased. सुरक्षा है तो दर्द नहीं, सुरक्षा नहीं है तो दर्द ही दर्द. If you know safety, you don't have any pain, and if you apply safety, you have no pain, and if you don't apply safety, you have pain. So we say in English, no safety, no pain, and no safety, no pain. Spelling is different. Spelling speech is same. KNOW is also spoken no, and NO is also spoken no. Same way, no quality, no pain, and no quality, only pain. Every work requires quality. Quality is in the hands of engineers. Quality has to be complied with, defined, or specified or stated requirements within ambit of work designed valid specifications. गुणवत्ता का मतलब क्वालिटी से है, और क्वालिटी अभियंताओं के हाथ में है, इंजीनियर्स के हाथ में है, और उन्हें इसको लागू करना होगा. बाकी विकास हम करते हैं, वी डू डेवलपमेंट, वी से वी आर डेवलपिंग, लेकिन विकास क्या हम क्वालिटी से करते हैं, ये भी सोचना बहुत ज़रूरी है. डू वी डेवलप इन लाइन टू रिक्वायरमेंट ऑफ क्वालिटी, और वी डू dirty work, dirty development. There are robbers working everywhere. There are thieves working everywhere in engineering world, in commercial world, in manufacturing world, and we have to be careful about them. And it is professional engineers, it is those engineers who work and live, who develop and live. Those engineers are competent ones because of their qualifications, academics, and experience, and it is their responsibility to make sure that quality is done, quality is achieved. They should not play in hands of those who are robbers. Robbers means those who only are interested in money making and not in delivering good work. And it is for sure there exists no future if no quality persists. And whatever is requirement under quality system and quality controls, all those requirements must be met in every respect. No excuse is admissible for quality failure. Quality is a must, a must, a must. Engineers have to realize this fact. Don't bow before management or organizational leaders. Don't bow before those who are powerful. You have to bow before system requirements, quality requirements. Engineers are tools of change. Engineers are considered leaders of everybody, leaders of technology, leaders of work, leaders of system, leaders of society. And actually, engineers create society by giving facilities to society. Therefore, it is better that engineers should work as engineers and not as slaves to powerful, not as servant to powerful, but a service provider to powerful. Don't be a servant, be a service provider. Be a professional service provider, even if you work in government or you work in private sector or you work as freelancer, whatever you work, your duty is to provide service to people, even if you work for some organization. But don't forget, whatever work you do, it shall be used by public. It shall not be used by the donor. So you are servant to public. You should be dedicated to people of every country. And engineers must realize quality effects. Engineers को quality effects को समझना होगा. And in particular civil engineers, जो लोग civil engineer हैं, वास्तु विद्या जानते हैं, मकान बनाना, सड़क बनाना और कोई भी फैसिलिटी जो देश की पब्लिक के लिए, विश्व की पब्लिक के लिए काम आती है वो बनाना, उनका फ़र्ज़ बनता है। उन्होंने क्वालिटी एस्पेक्ट को चेंज करना है, सोसाइटी को क्वालिटी देनी है, समाज को क्वालिटी देनी है। और अगर वो नहीं देंगे तो नहीं मिलेगी क्वालिटी, ये भी पक्की बात है। और इसकी जिम्मेदारी मैं ख़ास तौर से सिविल इंजीनियर्स को देता हूँ, क्योंकि सिविल इंजीनियर्स ही वो पहला इंजीनियर है, पहला अभियंता है, पहला व्यवसायी है जो सामने आता है और काम को शुरू करता है। यहाँ तक कि जहाँ काम होना होता है उसकी सफाई भी वो कराता है। ज़रूरत पड़े तो अकेला होता है, उसके पास बैठने की जगह भी नहीं होती है, पानी पीने को भी कई बार नहीं होता है, धूप में, छाई में, गर्मी में, तूफान में काम करना होता है, गंध में काम करना होता है, ऐसे वातावरण में काम करना होता है जहाँ शायद कुछ लोग जा भी नहीं सकते, बदबू भी होती है, सूंघना पड़ता है। ऐसे ऐसे हालात होते हैं, हालांकि हर समय नहीं होता, कभी कभी होता है, कोई देख रेख करने वाला नहीं होता। ऐसे भी समय आते हैं इंजीनियर की दुनिया में, इंजीनियरिंग वर्ल्ड में, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग वर्ल्ड में। इसलिए इंजीनियर, एटलीस्ट सिविल इंजीनियर, must be very smart enough to digest all these adverse circumstances, adverse situations, and civil engineer has enough potential for that. Don't go to color of engineer because of environment, face color changes. One cannot stay like a diplomat, one has to stay like very ordinary worker, and I consider engineer is very ordinary worker, civil engineer, because civil engineer devotes to society, devotes to everyone. If civil engineer doesn't care for all this, he cannot work as engineer. Civil engineer is a sacrificial work where you have to mix with people, you have to mix with everyone, you have to use material, you have to use workforce, you have to use machines, you have to use, without people you have to be somewhere. And you have to think after all that, after doing this hard work, struggling work throughout the day, you have to think also for next job, for next month's job, and plan everything, and you think what is right, what is wrong, and where I should stay, how can I improve, how I can write, how can I report. That's what civil engineering means. An engineer becomes incapable, which means engineers in life and life cannot exist, and that's where it's very important. So I will not go further on this. I would simply say our job is to think, to do, but it's a plan, do, think, and check, because we say generally in our planning, plan it, do it, check it, improve it. That's what say, and that's why I try to talk of this. And engineering means construction engineering and design engineering, particular in civil engineering world. Civil engineering world is for everybody. First we have to remember that. सिविल इंजीनियरिंग की दुनिया, वास्तु वास्तु अभियंता की दुनिया पूरे विश्व में, पूरे संसार में रहती है। जिस तरह से बाकी बिजली रहती है, मशीन रहती है और आजकल आईटी रहती है, पूरी दुनिया में सिविल इंजीनियरिंग का वही स्थान है जो आप कह सकते हैं ग्राफिक्स में एक्स एक्सिस और वाई एक्सिस के कम्बिनेशन का है, मीटिंग का है, जिसको हम ऑरिजिन कहते हैं। अगर हम ऑरिजिन से राइट की तरफ जाएं तो एक्स पॉजिटिव है, ऑरिजिन से लेफ़्ट की तरफ जाएं तो एक्स नेगेटिव है, और उसको ऊपर की तरफ वाई एक्सिस पर जाएं तो ऊपर पॉजिटिव है, नीचे नेगेटिव है। और ये एक रेफरेंस है, ये आवश्यकता नहीं है, ये समझने के लिए, कैलकुलेशन के लिए ज़रूरत पड़ती है इसकी। उसी तरह से सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में भी हम एक्सिस देखते हैं, 3 एक्सिस, 4 एक्सिस, जितने भी एक्सिस हों, हर एक्सिस पावर होनी चाहिए, हर एक्सिस पर सोच होनी चाहिए। और हम किस एक्सिस पे हैं ये डिपेंड करता है। हम सुपरविजन के एक्सिस पे हैं, हम काम करने के एक्सिस पे हैं, हम कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग के एक्सिस पे हैं, हम बिडिंग के एक्सिस पे हैं, कहाँ हम हैं। एक लंबा सफ़र तय करना होता है कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट को कार्यान्वित करने के लिए। लंबा सफ़र डिपेंड करता है आपके पास कितना बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट है, कितना बजट है, कौन सी टेक्नोलॉजी है और आप उसे कितना जानते हैं। वो प्रोजेक्ट आपने करना है, देखने में कई बार बहुत छोटा भी लगता है, बहुत बड़ा भी लगता है। ऐसे लगता है इतना बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट कैसे किया होगा लोगों ने, लेकिन तकनीक है, टेक्नोलॉजी है, इंजीनियरिंग है और हम बहुत कुछ करते हैं। कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के थ्रू करते हैं, डायरेक्ट भी करते हैं, लेकिन वो वास्ट स्केल पे नहीं। वी हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस रियलिटी ऑफ लाइफ दैट सिविल इंजीनियर हैज़ टू वर्क। Without civil engineering, without basics engineering, you can say basics of engineering, or you can say where engineering starts. Civil engineer means a bird. Yes, civil engineer means a real social animal, because we do a lot. Civil engineer means original worker, because we have to start from scratch of ground, not scratch of paper. We have to start from soil. We have to start from garbage. We have to start from, shrubs. We have to start from sun. We have to start from air. Well, I think when we go and do survey, people say it is survey, and survey is a part of civil engineering, very much part of civil engineering, and in fact, of course, this is relative work. This is for vertical controls, this is for horizontal controls, and this is for inclined controls. But without that, we cannot do anything. Civil engineering means we have to survey whatever we want to do. Of course, now facilities are there, GPS is there, so much is there. But even then, we have to apply it. Nothing can be applied automatically. We have to use engineering. So we have to do survey, and survey engineer goes to deserts, survey engineer goes to plots, and they survey from each and every point of view, from geographical point of view, from geotechnical point of view. And laboratories are involved, material testing laboratories, which are experts in case of testing materials. And they work out, they give report, these laboratories, they give report and say this is soil you have in this area or in this location, that you have to take care of this soil, these tests, is N value, this bearing capacity, these parameters of angle of repose, this electrical resistance of this soil, thermal resistance of this soil, or you can say rock quality designation of this material. Whatever information we get from there, we use that for design. Design, of course, applying certain factor of safety that is designed. So you can say here it is 100% technical based. We have to understand construction engineering, we have to understand soil, we have to understand foundations, we have to understand behavior of conduct of that soil may give, soil may, you can say, reverberate, but we cannot guarantee on anything because it is natural, and therefore we keep some margin from certain viewpoint so that adversity we can digest, and that's where we can say it's very important part of life. We have to understand that reality, and it's very important. We can say, I'm just trying to give background to those who might have not been in contact with civil engineers. And contracts or no contracts, it depends, because work is of magnitude which one person cannot handle, and we cannot talk only, we have to do that. Talking is not enough in civil engineering. Civil engineering requires work to be done, and it takes years sometime to do works, to do projects. No work can be done in one day. It's impossible. Even if we construct one small room, it cannot be constructed in one day. Just a minute, please. So I tried to explain to you about civil engineering a little. And civil engineering is development. Civil engineering is life motion. लाइफ कैनॉट मूव विदाउट सिविल इंजीनियरिंग. हम बिना सिविल इंजीनियरिंग के आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते. सिविल इंजीनियर के वो काम हैं जो आप सोच नहीं सकते. शायद देखते जरूर होंगे, आप कभी सड़क पर जाते होंगे, देखते होंगे किसी ने कोई ट्राईपोड के ऊपर लेंस लगाया है, कोई इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, वो देख रहा है दूर से, और आप कहते हैं क्या कर रहा है, लेवल कर रहा है. आप कहते हैं कोई थियोडोलाइट लेके खड़ा है, कोई इंस्ट्रूमेंट लेके खड़ा है, और अपनी अपनी मेजरमेंट कर रहे हैं जो भी करनी होती है हमको. ये तो आपको दिख जाता है क्योंकि आप शहर में हैं, सिटी में हैं, और ये चलते रहते हैं आमतौर पे. लेकिन कभी आपने डेजर्ट पे जाके नहीं देखा होगा, कभी जंगल में जाके देखा नहीं होगा, कहाँ कैसे सर्वे होते हैं. आप कहेंगे आजकल टेक्निक तो बहुत एडवांस है, हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. टेक्निक एडवांस ज़रूर है, लेकिन काम तो वही है. जंगल में जाके काम करना पड़ता है, और जहाँ काम करना होता है वहाँ सब कुछ होता है. गंद भी होती है, अच्छा भी होता है, जब बैठने की जगह नहीं होती है, धूप भी सहनी होती है, पानी भी कई बार नहीं मिलता है. तो ये सब बातें होती हैं. सर्वे एक ऐसी इंजीनियरिंग जो दिखती नहीं है, की जाती है, और बिना सर्वे के, बिना सर्वेक्षण के, सर्वे को सर्वेक्षण भी कहते हैं, बिना सर्वेक्षण के हमें डाटा नहीं मिलेगा. हमें समझ नहीं आएगा कि ये प्लॉट कैसा है, ये साइट कैसी है, ये एरिया कैसा है. और उसके बिना ड्राइंग भी नहीं बन सकती, उसके बिना सोचा भी नहीं जा सकता कि कैसे इसका सेटिंग आउट तैयार किया जाए, कैसे इसको लिंक किया जाए दूसरे एरिया से. और उसको करने के लिए हमको सर्वे करना पड़ता है, सर्वेक्षण करना पड़ता है, डिटेल लेनी पड़ती है. और उसके पश्चात ही हम देखते हैं कि वहाँ की सॉइल, वहाँ की मिट्टी, जिस प्रयोगशाला को हम भेजें मिट्टी टेस्ट के लिए, मिट्टी को चेक करने के लिए, कितनी मिट्टी कितने मीटर पे है, वो करना पड़ता है, जिसको कहते हैं मटेरियल टेस्टिंग, सॉइल मटेरियल टेस्टिंग. सॉइल जिसको हम एक मटेरियल मानते हैं इंजीनियरिंग में, आप लोग शायद नहीं जानते होंगे, सॉइल भी एक मटेरियल है, बहुत बड़ा मटेरियल. मटेरियल तो बहुत हैं, लेकिन सॉइल को लोग समझते नहीं हैं, मिट्टी को लोग समझते नहीं हैं. मिट्टी जिसके ऊपर आपका सब कुछ ठहरना है. ग्राउंड से नीचे जितना भी आप नीचे जाएंगे, जो भी डिज़ाइन में आएगा, वहाँ मिट्टी है, चट्टाने हैं, पानी है, मिक्सअप है, कितनी बिजली वो ले सकता है, कितना ठंड वो ले सकती है मिट्टी, कितनी गर्मी वो ले सकती है मिट्टी, सूरज की गर्मी से उसको क्या इफेक्ट होगा, हवा से उसको क्या इफेक्ट होगा, पानी का उछाल ऊपर नीचे हो, नीचे उससे उस मिट्टी पे क्या फ़र्क पड़ेगा ये देखना होता है, समझना होता है। कितनी फोर्स वो मिट्टी ले सकती है, कितनी उसकी वैल्यू एंगल ऑफ रिपोज की, कितनी शक्ति है उस मिट्टी में लोड लेने की, भार लेने की, और हम कहाँ तक उसको ला सकते हैं, कहाँ यूज़ कर सकते हैं, पानी क्षमता है उसमें कि नहीं, पानी रुकता है उसमें कि नहीं, ये सब बातें हमें जाननी होती हैं। ये सब बातें डिज़ाइन में काम आती हैं। वो मिट्टी जिसमें आपने अपनी बुनियाद को ठहराना है, वो क्या बोलेगी, क्या करेगी, बिल्डिंग के ऊपर कैसे सहायता करेगी या नहीं करेगी, वो सब समझना है डिज़ाइन में, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग के डिज़ाइन में, कंस्ट्रक्शन के लिए हमें समझना है। और ये एक लंबा प्रोसेस, प्रोजेक्ट के लिए, बड़े के लिए, छोटे के लिए, एक दिन में तो कोई काम नहीं होता है। सिविल वर्क में, हमारे सिविल इंजीनियरिंग में एक दिन में कोई काम नहीं होता है, याद रखिएगा। एक छोटी सी पाइपलाइन भी डालनी होती है तो एक दिन में नहीं डल सकती है, हालांकि लोग डाल के ख़त्म कर देते हैं, वो समझते नहीं हैं कुछ भी। वी हैव टू रियलाइज दिस फैक्ट, सिविल इंजीनियरिंग इज़ ए प्रोसेस, इट्स नॉट झटका, इट्स नॉट जस्ट टू डू वन डे, नो, इट्स कैन बी डन इन वन डे। You have to do all activities whatever are required for certain work to be performed, और उसके लिए हमें डिपेंड करना पड़ता है दूसरे एक्सपर्ट्स पे। कुछ लोग जो डिज़ाइन के एक्सपर्ट होते हैं, कुछ लोग वर्क कराने के एक्सपर्ट होते हैं, कुछ लोग वर्क करने के एक्सपर्ट होते हैं, कुछ लोग ठेके के एक्सपर्ट होते हैं, ठेकेदारी करते हैं जिसको कॉन्ट्रैक्टिंग कहते हैं। और जब वो काम बड़ा हो, काम छोटा सा ना हो, उस बड़े काम में बड़े लोग लगते हैं। बड़े लोग का मतलब काफ़ी लोग, बड़े से मतलब स्टैंडर्ड से नहीं है, काफ़ी क्वांटिटी में, काफ़ी नंबर्स में जहाँ लोग लगने हों, जो काम महीनों चलना हो, वर्षों चलना हो, वहाँ उसी प्रकार से मैनेज या प्रबंध किया जाता है, उसी प्रकार से ऑर्गेनाइज किया जाता है। कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की हम बात करना चाहते हैं क्योंकि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के बिना काम नहीं होते, ये भी सच्चाई है। कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के बिना काम नहीं होते, ये तो एक सच्चाई है, लेकिन ये भी सच्चाई है कि हम चाहें तो बिना कॉन्ट्रैक्ट भी काम कर सकते हैं। इंजीनियर्स को इतनी शक्ति होती है, इतना बुद्धि होती है, इतनी कैपेसिटी होती है, लेकिन वो नहीं करते, वो अलग बात है। वो ठेके पे काम कराना चाहते हैं, कॉन्ट्रैक्टरशिप में, कोई बात नहीं है, काम तो काम है, लेकिन हम खुद भी करें अपने हिसाब से, तब भी कहीं ना कहीं ठेके तो आएंगे ही। मटेरियल परचेस करना होगा, इक्विपमेंट परचेस करने होंगे, वर्कर्स को लगाना होगा। तो हर आदमी, हर इंजीनियर एक से एक को नहीं जानता, सैकड़ों कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आएंगे, सैकड़ों लोग आएंगे, वेंडर्स भी आएंगे, दूसरे भी आएंगे, तो बात वही आ जाती है। इसलिए जिम्मेदारी को कलेक्ट करने के लिए, फोकस करने के लिए, एक अकाउंटेबल बनाने के लिए, उस काम को, उस पैसे को सही तरह से लगाने के लिए जो बजट है हमारे पास, होता ये है कि हम डिसाइड कर लेते हैं या सिस्टम बन जाता है कि आपको काम कॉन्ट्रैक्ट से करा लें। दैट इज़ वन कंक्लूजन यू कैन से, टू अवॉइड ऑल कॉम्प्लेक्सिटीज, टू अवॉइड ऑल क्लैशेस, टू अवॉइड ऑल वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम, and to make it easy for everyone, that project moves successfully for future. It should not be delayed and there should be no confusion. Coordination should move on properly. So what happens is that there are certain category of companies, organizations or people who may be called construction experts to some extent. I'm not saying expert means everything, but just for reference we say, because they have been busy, they have been doing, or they can do construction conventionally, practically, commercially. We can say that these people are construction traders, these people do construction, these people are contractors, and that contracting is of course a professional domain. It cannot be called just a domain, it's professional, completely professional, because in construction we use designs, we use technology, application of technology, application of material use, and we therefore bring from something raw to something useful forever. Just like soil doesn't value anything if it's not used for structure, but it means everything when structure rests on soil, and transfer its loads, its sections through foundations to soil for good forever. So you can say material is used, soil is used, and structure is erected, is constructed forever. That's what important lies in. When you buy some equipment, some machine, you don't buy for 100 years. You don't buy for 50 years. You buy for a couple of years, or in some cases even a couple of months, and you can say purpose of this machine is over. That's what it is. I mean, every material, every product, every good is good only for its duration we decide. But when you talk of civil engineering, there is no civil engineering activity which can be done only for, okay, we use it for 6 months and throw it. Yes, for temporary works, fine. For temporary work, for scaffolding, for example, for supporting system, for example, where the work is not permanent, it's temporary, we can say, okay, fine, we can now, we can dispense with this, we don't need this because work is over, we remove this and send it back to from where it came, like that. So we have to understand construction contracts, and in construction contract we use red book and we use silver book. Red book is meant only for those projects where construction is done, not design is done. In that one, design is not part of, design doesn't part with contract, only construction, and we call it red, FIDIC red. And we design is also a part of that. We can say, okay, this is silver, in which design is also a part of contract. उसमें डिज़ाइन भी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का हिस्सा होता है. Last time we studied about general conditions of silver, in which we considered 20 clauses. As usual, this was general provisions in clause 1. You may call it clause 1, you may call it article 1, it's up to you. It's not constitution, it's only a form. So 1 is general provisions, 2 employer, 3 is employer's administration, then it is contractor. So first 3 you can say general is for all, then employer, and we studied employer's administration. So this is one part. Then it is contractor and designs, another part, because it is part of EPC. Then it is staff and workers, and you can say plant, materials and workmanship, commencement, delays and suspension, test on completion, employers taking over, defects after taking over, and tests after completion, variations and adjustments, contract price and payment, and termination by employer, suspension and termination by contractor, care of works and indemnities, exceptional events, then insurance, employers and contractors' claims, which you study disputes and arbitration we have to study. So first I want to close this 20 points, because again I say 20 point is employers and contractors claim, वो दावे जो एम्प्लॉयर ने और कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने करने हैं. उससे पहले 19 इंश्योरेंस, बीमा, क्या है बीमा, कैसे है. then 18 पॉइंट इज एक्सेप्शनल इवेंट्स या फोर्स मेजर. हमने जिसको नहीं जानते क्या होगा कैसे होगा, हमें नहीं पता उसके बारे में, उससे कैसे डील करें, हाउ टू डील विद दैट विच वी डू नॉट नो. देन इट इज़ केयर ऑफ वर्क्स एंड इंडेमनिटीज़, केयर कैसे करें, परवाह कैसे करें काम की, और रक्षाएँ कैसे करें दूसरे की, ये इसमें है. देन सस्पेंशन एंड टर्मिनेशन बाय कॉन्ट्रैक्टर, अगर ठेकेदार सस्पेंड करते काम को या टर्मिनेट करते काम को तो क्या होगा. उससे पहले टर्मिनेशन बाय एम्प्लॉयर, अगर एम्प्लॉयर काम को टर्मिनेट कर दे तो क्या उसका बाद होता है. कॉन्ट्रैक्टर प्राइस, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट का क्या प्राइस है, पेमेंट कैसे होनी है. एंड देन वेरिएशंस एंड एडजस्टमेंट, क्या क्या वेरिएशन आ रही हैं, चेंजेस आ रहे हैं, कैसे हम एडजस्ट कर रहे हैं, और कंप्लीशन करने के बाद कैसे टेस्ट किए जाएं. एंड डिफेक्ट्स जो होते हैं टेकिंग ओवर के बाद, आप टेक ओवर कर लिया, हमने ले लिया आपका काम, के डिफेक्ट्स कैसे ठीक किए जाएँ. Employers taking over. Likewise, we studied all these, which are very important. And if you compare it with Red Book, you can say everything is different. I like to show you that also if I can find it conveniently here. I think let me see if I can find it. It's better because it's better if you know something very it is construction contract. Okay, I think it is here. I can open it. It's construction contract and it is here. Let's go through this index also. It's also important so that we know something about that too. हमें जानना चाहिए दोनों को कंपेयर करके क्या डिफरेंस है दोनों में लगता है. अभी हम देखेंगे कि पहले हम देखें ये ईपीसी का और ABC this red book. It's now red open. We can say this is conditions of contract of construction. Here we can say I'm going to index directly because we have to understand that point first. Index क्या कहता है दोनों का, just to know what's difference between two construction contract and EPC. डिफरेंस अंतर क्या है दोनों में ये जानने की कोशिश करना भी ज़रूरी है. देखिए अगर हम देखें ये आपकी रेड बुक और ये आपकी सिल्वर. जनरल प्रोविजंस में देखें यहाँ पर ये सिल्वर के हैं. इसमें देखिए ये आपके 16 पॉइंट इसमें हैं और इसमें 15 पॉइंट हैं. फ़र्क क्या है देखिए डेफिनेशन है ये आपकी सिल्वर में और कंस्ट्रक्शन में डेफिनेशन इंटरप्रिटेशन. You can see definition, interpretation, notices, others comes in laws and language, practical documents, and it's same here. Then you go to other one, red one. You see, here is contract agreement, assignment, care and supply of documents, delayed drawings of instruction, 10 employers of contract documents is in 10 points. Here also, contract use employers documents, employers what's missing then? Contract agreement is number 6. Here it is contract agreement number 6. Here it is assignment 1.7 and this is assignment. Then if you see 1.8 care and supply of documents, here you can say care and supply of documents. Then employer's use of contracts documents, here it is care. Delayed drawings or instructions, this is 119 is different here. Here you can say 119 is employer's use, so there's 1 point here after 18 care and supply of documents, but here in silver it is added something that is employer's use of a care and supply of documents. After that in this there is care and supply of documents, but in red one is delayed drawings or instructions, which is because drawings are given by employer, drawings are given by engineers, but in that one they have to draw themselves. That's the difference. So 1.9 is different here. Here employers use of contracts documents 1.9 and they said employers use of contracts documents 1.10. So in red book we have added this clause delayed drawings or instructions, and I think others may be same. Employers of contracts documents, confidentiality contracts and all this joint several liabilities, I think it's same in this. So joint several liability, limitation liability, contract termination, like that contract termination. So you can say in red there is only one difference, and that is delayed drawings or instructions, because in red where construction contract is involved, you have to be issued designs and drawings for purpose of construction in red. So it is duty of employer and employer's appointed engineer or designer to give you drawings, to issue drawings to you, and that's the only difference in EBC and red. दोनों में क्या अंतर है हमने देखे. रेड हो या ये सिल्वर हो, इसमें जनरल प्रोविजंस 1 में क्लॉज 1 या आर्टिकल 1 में जितने भी प्रोविजंस सारे मिलते हैं सिल्वर वाले से, लेकिन एक जगह कंस्ट्रक्शन में जो अलग से क्लॉज है वो है डिलेड ड्राइंग्स और इंस्ट्रक्शंस, जो सिल्वर में नहीं चल रहा. एक तो ये अंतर आया. आप देखिए एम्प्लॉयर क्या कहता है यहाँ, क्लॉज नंबर 2 आर्टिकल नंबर 2 में 6 पॉइंट हैं. इसमें देखिए इसमें भी 6 पॉइंट है. राइट ऑफ एक्सेस टू साइट, राइट ऑफ एक्सेस टू साइट, असिस्टेंस एम्प्लॉयर पर्सनल, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स पर्सनल, and you can say site data items etc. So it is all same, there's no difference in employer, so employer is same. Then we go to employer's administration. Employer's administration, if you see in the red one, here is no employer's, and clause 3 is engineer here clause 3 is employer's administration, means engineer and employer administration. What is difference here? Says in employer, here is here is engineer. There was employer. We are talking of red now. Engineer means what is engineer? In 3.1 is defined. There are about 8 points here. It says engineer, engineer's duties and authority, engineer's representative, delegation by engineer, an engineer's instructions, replacement of engineer, agreement or determination, and meetings. It is engineer everywhere. And here it says employer's representative means term engineer is taken over by employer's representative, which means engineer is integrated within this provision of employer's representative. Other one is other employer's personnel, that is 3.2, and here it is engineer's duties and authority, engineer's responsibility means delegation by engineer. So here engineer instructions, replacement of engineer, agreement of determination and meeting. So this is engineer clause, and here is only difference in this clause. Employer's representative, others employer's personnel, delegated persons, instructions, agreement or determination, meetings. You can say this employer's administration means and engineers here are comparative with each other, and that's different. So now we go to red book and see what is contractor. And you see here what is contractor. So 4 number is contractor, and there are so many points in this. 23 points. 23 points of sections you can see in contractor clause, and here it is also 23 points. So let us see first read what it says. In red it says contractor's general obligations, and contractor's general obligations, performance security, contractor's representative, contractor's documents and training. If you see these 5 points here, contractor's general in the silver also, contractor's general obligations, performance security, contractor's representative, subcontractors and nominated subcontractors. These are here, these 5 points. And here it's different. Contractor's general obligation, it is contractor's general obligations. For performance security, it is performance security, contractor's representatives, contractor's representative, subcontractors, and here it is contractor's documents. Training after that is, and there is this is difference, you can say. If you go to silver, you'll say setting out health and safety, or use quality management, compliance verification, and use of site data. Use the first 10 here. Same way you can say setting out health and safety obligations, quality management, compliance verification systems, and use of site data. So only difference is here. And if you see 11, sufficiency of accepted contract amount, and here is you can say sufficiency of contract price. Then you can say here it is unforeseeable physical conditions in 12, and here it is unforeseeable difficulties. Then of course it is rights of way and facilities in 13, rights of way and facilities same, and is avoidance of interference for 14, and avoidance of interference same. And if you see access routes, and here is access routes, then you can say transfer of goods, and here is transfer of goods. And is contractor equipment, protection of environment, is contractor equipment and protection of environment. Then you can say it is temporary utilities and progress report, and it is temporary utilities and progress report. So you can say security of site, and here is also security of site, and this is contractor's operation on site, and here is contractor's operation on site, and this is here archaeological and geological findings, and it's also so no major difference except few. So we go to designs part now, which is not a part in this contract. There's no design part here. So in this part is design, and design says general design obligations, contractors documents, contractors undertaking, technical standards and regulations, training, as-built records, operations and maintenance, manuals, design errors. This is for design, nothing exists in that one because that's for design 3. There's subcontractors and nominated subcontractors, and here is in so now we go to staff and workers, and this is say staff and workers 6 one here, staff and workers as well. We go to this one is engagement of staff and labor, rates of wages and conditions of workers, recruitment of persons, labor workers, labor laws, working hours. These are 5 ones, and if you take this engagement of staff and workers, rates of wages and conditions of workers, recruitment of persons, labor laws and working hours. So these are same, we can say facilities for staff and laborers, and you can say facilities of staff and laborers, health and safety of personnel, health and safety of workers, contractor superintendents, contract personal contract records. It is contract superintendents, contract personal contract records. So it's all the same. Disorderly conduct key person here, then you can say disorderly conduct key person. So it's almost same. We go to another one, and that's you can say plants, machinery, and workmanship is both. Manner of execution, you can say manner of execution. Here is samples and inspections, and sample inspections, and here is testing by contractor, and there's a testing by contractor, Then it is defects and rejection. It is defects and rejection. Then is remedial work, means remedial works here as well. And it is ownership of plant and material royalties and ownership of plant and material. So this plant metals workmanship, there's no difference at all. And we can say, let's go to other one, commencement delays and suspension. What is about red book? There are 13 points here, as well as in silver book, 13 points. Let's say one by one. Commencement of works and time for completion. And its commencement of time for completion. It is program, and its program. It is advance warning. It is advance warning, and it is extension of time, delays caused by authorities, and extension of times and delay caused by authority. And then rate of progress, delay damages. Here is rate of progress and delay damages. And then it is employer suspension. Here is employer suspension, and here is, you can say, consequences of employer suspension. Here is also consequences of employer suspension. And then it is, you can say, payment of plant and metals after employer suspension. The same thing is payment of plants after suspension. And then is prolonged suspension, resumption of work. And this is prolonged suspension, resumption of work. That's what we study in this. We go next. So there's no difference in commencement, delays, and suspension. Now time of completion also, I think it should be same. Time of completion is context, obligation, delay, test. And you can say context, obligation, delay, test. And retesting and failure to pass test completion, and retesting and failure to pass completion. So this clause is same. Now we go to next one, and that's 10, and it's employers taking over. The 4 points here: take over of works and section, take over of parts, interference with testing obligations, surface requirement administration. And here is taking over works and section. We can say this is here same one. Taking over parts of works, and it's also here taking over parts, and you can say interference with test and completion. And there is interference test completion, surface requiring reinstatement, surface requiring reinstatement. That's not this thing here. I go to element defects after taking over. Defects after taking over. This is both, of course, in the part number 11 of this contract form. It says how many parts are there in this? In this 11 one. If you can see this one, 11 one here, we find same. I think it's same. Let us see cost of defects taking over. What it says in red, it says completion of outstanding works and remedying defects, and completion of outstanding works and remedying defects. And you can see other one is number 2 is cost of remedying defects, and here is also cost of remedying defects. And we go further, see in this cost of remedying defects, extension of defects notification period, and here is extension of defects notification period. Then it is failure to remedy defects. It also failure to remedy defects. In red one, it is remedying of defects work off site, and here is also remedying of defects work off site. Then we can say further test treatment after remedying defects, and further test after remedying defects, the same one. Further test, and then we can say right of access after taking over, and here is right of access after taking over. Same contact to search. Here is also contact to search, and here is performance certificate. Here is also performance certificate. Unfulfilled obligation clear on the sites is also unfulfilled obligation. There's no difference in this. So you can say defects after taking over is over. Now you go to test after completion, and test after completion. There's nothing as such, I think. And this, why it's not this? It's measurement evaluation rather than test after measurement values in red. Work to be measured, methods of measurement, valuation of works, and omission. And here it is. It is you can say test after completion, the procedure of test after completion, delay test, retesting, failure, and valuation comes here in 13, and that too here is 13. So here is measurement, and there is, you can say, measurement. It was variation, variation and adjustments. Here it is variation adjustment number 14, 13, and it is here variations and adjustments. It says first is right to vary value engineering. Here is also right to value engineering, and then variation procedures. Here is also variation procedures, and then provisional sums, and here is also provisional sums. And you can say day work, and is also day work, and it's adjustments for changes in law, and it's also adjustments for changes in law, and adjustments for changes in cost, and adjustments of changing in cost. So it's like a contract price and payment, and it's also here's contract price and payment. This is what's difference. There are many classes are here. 15 points here. There are two, I think, 15 points here. Let's go one by one. Contract price and advance payment, and this is contract price and advance payment. Then application for interim payment and schedule of payments, and there is, you can say, I can say application is application of inventory payment, is schedule of payments, and then the next one is, that is number 5, plant and material intended for works, and that's plants and material intended for works. And go to number 6, issue of IPC and payment, and issue of IPC is an interim payment. It is interim payment and payment, interim payment and payment, and here is issue of IPC, same thing in payment certificate and payment, so it is no difference. And we can say delayed payment, and here is delayed payment, and here is release of retention money statement of completion, release of retention money statement completion. So final settlement is charged, and this final settlement is charged. And here is issue of EPC, also issue of EPC, that is cessation of employer's liability. FEC is final performance certificate is issue of FEC. Then cessation of employer's liability, it is cessation of employer's liability. Here it is currency of payment, and it is currency of payments. So we go to next one, termination by employer, and here is also termination by employer. 7, there are 2, 7. See, notice to correct, termination for contractor's default, notice to correct and termination for contractor's default, and then valuation after termination for contractor's default and payment after termination of contractor's default, and is valuation after termination of contractor's default and payment after termination of contractor's default, same. And you can say valuation after termination for employer's convenience and payment after termination of employer's convenience. So valuation after termination of convenience and payment after is the same. So we go to 16. I'm trying to show you how it works, how difference 16. And suspension and termination by contractor, in this case suspension and termination by contractor are 4 points here, here also 4 points, and suspension by contractor, termination by contractor, suspension and termination here by contractor, and contract obligations after termination, payment after termination of contractor, the same thing, so no difference. Now 17, we go to 17.1, that's what 17 is care of works and indemnities. There are 6 points here, care of the 6 points here are the same. So responsibilities for care of works, liabilities of care of works, and responsibilities and liabilities for care of works, same. Intellectual and industrial property rights, intellectual and industrial property rights, and indemnities by contractor is indemnities by contractor. Here is indemnities by employer and shared indemnities, indemnities by employer and shared, so it's same. There's no difference. Now come to point exceptional events. Exceptional events, in this also exceptional events, you can say force majeure, can say exceptional events of 6 points. Exceptional events, notice for an exceptional event, duty to minimize delays, it's all same. Consequences, exceptional events, optional termination, release from this is also same, I think it's all same. Now go to insurance point. Insurance is general requirements, insurance to be applied by contract, and there's general requirement insurance to be applied to same. And 20, last point is here, employers and contractors claim, there's 2 point claims and claims for payment on UT, and same is here. Now we are 8 points in this, and here are 8 points in that. What is that? Constitution of DAB. It is constitution of DAB. Then failure to appoint DAB members and failure to appoint DAB members. There is avoidance of disputes, and there is avoidance of disputes, and there is obtaining DAB decision and obtaining DAB decision, and there is amicable settlement. This amicable settlement. There is arbitration, and there is arbitration. There is failure to comply with DAB's decision. There is failure to comply with DAB decision, no DAB in place, and the same thing here. So you go on, you see there's only very small difference, and that's about drawings, and that's about claims. Likewise, otherwise it's same. So if you want to work on red book, that is only for construction. If you want to work on designs and construction, which we generally call EPC, that's engineering, procurement and construction, which is a little higher than that, and all facilities, which is a big one, which are mega projects, which are done on lump sum projects, lump sum, that's all construction and designs. Because machine you are supplying, and you don't know how can employer conceive which machine they are going to supply. So design depends on machine, which machine it is, which vessel it is, which equipment it is, and capacity of machine is, it's vibratory or it is not vibratory, it is stationary, it is centrifugal or non-centrifugal pump, It's a reciprocating one. Likewise, we can say design cannot be anticipated by a person who is not procuring that machine. Therefore, particularly those projects where machines are required, where procurement of material is done based on designs, we cannot say that we go on for red book. We have to go for silver book, which includes designs for construction and construction both, and that's called EPC. While red book is involved, that's called red, and that's called construction agreement. Only where design is provided by employer and engineer provided by employer. Design is believed worked and provided by employer through engineer who is appointed by employer for purpose of design and supervision, or some other party may be there for designs. ये जो मैंने आपको बातें बताई 20-21 क्लासेस बताई, से 20 क्लासेस बिल्कुल कॉन्ट्रेक्चुअल, 21 क्लास तो अलग है, आर्बिट्रेशन का है। इसमें हमने कंपेयर किया कि कौन सा क्लास क्या है, कौन सी चीज़ क्या है। जनरली सारे क्लास मिलते हैं रेड के सिल्वर के, कुछ छोड़ के जिसमें डिज़ाइंस की बातें आती हैं या टेस्टिंग की या कुछ और चीज़ें आती हैं। ये बात समझिए, दोनों एक दूसरे में नहीं चल सकते, लेकिन जहाँ सिर्फ कंस्ट्रक्शन का प्रोजेक्ट होता है, जहाँ डिज़ाइन एम्प्लॉयर ने देना है या इंजीनियर के थ्रू देना है, और डिज़ाइन कराया कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को मिलेगा, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी डिज़ाइन की नहीं है। वहाँ कॉन्ट्रैक्टर डिज़ाइन के लिए उत्तरदायी नहीं है। कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में रेड बुक में वहाँ आपको काम वैसा ही करना है जैसा कहा गया है। जो भी डॉक्यूमेंट आपके दिए गए हैं, उन डॉक्यूमेंट के हिसाब से, स्पेसिफिकेशन के हिसाब से, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के हिसाब से काम करना है। टू वर्क अकॉर्डिंग टू वट एवर डेफिनेशन ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स आर गिवन टू यू, वट एवर डॉक्यूमेंट्स आर गिवन टू यू, वट एवर ड्राइंग्स एंड स्पेसिफिकेशंस आर गिवन टू यू. Work has to be done accordingly, no otherwise, and you are not responsible for design or for effect of work, but you are responsible only as a contractor for material which you provide, what to do, how to do, what quality you give. Quality is very important there, and design is not important for contractor, but design is important for an engineer, because engineer or employer, they are responsible for designs and for, but claimer is that you have to do good work, quality work, safety work, and you have to prove that with your record, keeping records and all that. So only difference is designs and procurement. Of course, procurement means a lot money is involved in procurement of vessels, and particularly we talk of plants and facilities, big one where you got dollars, millions and trillions dollars involved in that. I'm talking about projects. It's not a small project I'm not talking about just to construct 2 rooms or a building. No, it's not that. It's buildings as well as off sites, as well as utilities, and for all types of building. Sonic building, non-sonic building, blast building, non-blast building, ordinary building, village resistant building, infrastructure facility, internet roads, and you can say substations and whatever facilities are required, water cooling system, and all production, life, etc., safety, everything is involved in the plant में वो सब फैसिलिटी होती हैं जो बाकी जगह नहीं होती हैं। हम प्लांट्स की कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑर्डिनरी बिल्डिंग की कंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं कंपेयर कर सकते, क्योंकि बिल्डिंग्स होती है, प्लांट्स होते हैं। प्लांट्स में कोऑर्डिनेशन बहुत ज़रूरी है, इतनी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है, इसका कोई आंसर नहीं है, और बहुत ज़्यादा कोऑर्डिनेशन, हर वेसल की कोऑर्डिनेशन, हर पाइपलाइन की कोऑर्डिनेशन, और वही चीज़ बिल्डिंग में हर डिसिप्लिन की कोऑर्डिनेशन ज़रूरी है। बस इतना ही डिफरेंस है। आप जब बिल्डिंग का काम करते हैं तो आपको हर डिसिप्लिन देखना होता है, लेकिन प्लांट्स में एक जगह पे जरूरी नहीं कि आप सारे डिसिप्लिन देखें, ऐसा कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है, क्योंकि प्लांट की बिल्डिंग वैसी रेस्ट्रिक्टेड होती है, बहुत मल्टी स्टोरी हाई राइज नहीं होती है। कंट्रोल्स की बिल्डिंग होती हैं, कुछ बिल्डिंग प्रोसेस के एरिया में होती हैं जो कि कंट्रोलेबल होती हैं, जिनको आप रिस्की कह सकते हैं। कुछ दूर होती हैं जो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में आती हैं, जो वेयर हाउसिंग में आती हैं, जो फैसिलिटीज़ में आती हैं, उनकी दूसरी डेफिनेशन होती है, उनकी दूसरी कंसिडरेशन होते हैं। एर्थक्वेक को छोड़कर बाकी आप देखें ब्लास्ट का फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता। ब्लास्ट का फ़र्क तो ब्लास्ट के एरिया में पड़ता है, जो कि 600 मीटर, आप कह सकते हैं कि आप अगर 200 मीटर दूर हैं ब्लास्ट से, तो ब्लास्ट का इफेक्ट बहुत ज़्यादा पड़ेगा। आप 200 से आगे थोड़े आगे चले गए तो उसका कम इफेक्ट पड़ेगा, और उसके बाद 600 के बाद कह सकते हैं 600 मीटर के बाद आपको ब्लास्ट का इफेक्ट नहीं पड़ेगा। इसलिए वो एरिया जो ब्लास्ट से लिंक नहीं है वो दूर दूर होते हैं, वहाँ से 600 meters minimum, 700 भी हो सकता है, depending on availability of site and site where you have. So it's very important point to understand means why do we consider all this, and designs of building is very complicated because you have to coordinate all services requirements, and therefore we can say when you get design done by someone else and you have to implement a design, that's best done as for construction. But even then you have to take care of quality, you have to take care of safety, you have to take care of understanding what trying is, and you have to detail out everything before doing construction. Things may not be, all details may not be provided to you in resolved form, and you might have to see, oh, this is my difficulty, I can't do that, I can't understand this design. Then you can raise clarification. There can be some difficulties in just detailing of those, and there can be difficulty in doing that work, and that's why we say, okay, fine, do it, you check it, you coordinate it, look at from each and every angle of coordination and find out what to do, design. If there's a complexity, there's a confusion, you can raise queries to engineer and queries to supervising engineer who can give you answers, whether your thinking is right or it's not right, and there are some changes in that change is required. that engineers shall change those details, and that's given to you for purpose of working upon prosecution on site, and that's what I say. We call them site technical query, engineering query, we can call whatever it is, and that. So most important point is that in those construction works we have to use something that is different, and we have to do is how we are going to do this work. And so we can say we have gone through these points, and of course we can say these items that we have gone through are very important, significant. आपको बताया बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है एंगल से, हर एंगल से जो भी हम काम करेंगे, चाहे वो ईपीसी पे काम करें, लेकिन कंस्ट्रक्शन की हम बात करें, कंस्ट्रक्शन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की हम बात करें, दैट इज रेड बुक, एंड रेड बुक इज ऑफ कोर्स सिग्नल. I don't compare with traffic lights, but red book is there, silver book is there, and also white book is there, yellow book is there. We'll discuss later on. Now I was just trying to inhibit, trying to stop ourselves at you can say construction and design point of view, because that's very important for projects. Design is very good, and we don't know how to do it. And it's very bad, you can say, if you don't have construction experience, or designers don't have construction experience, they don't understand, they can't anticipate problems to be seen on site to be met, and when there's a problem with design, it has to be changed at a time which takes much time. It's very bad in fact. So डिज़ाइंस वाले को समझना होगा कि कंस्ट्रक्शन कैसे होती है. अगर उसको नहीं पता तो उसको फीडबैक चाहिए किसी एक्सपीरियंस्ड आदमी का जो कंस्ट्रक्शन में रहा हो. खाली ड्राइंग पे डिफेक्ट कर देना, ऐसा ही करो, वो ठीक नहीं है. कंस्ट्रक्शन में प्रॉब्लम आती है, कंस्ट्रक्शन में बहुत कुछ आता है, और वो अगर सही सुपरविजन हो, सही ट्रेन पीपल हो, उसको हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं. अदरवाइज हैफाजार्ड सॉल्व नहीं होगा, बिल्कुल नहीं होगा. दैट्स व्हाई आई ट्राई टू कंपेयर दीज टू कंटेंट्स एंड यू ट्राई टू गेट what is actually that one. I didn't waste time on that. I just tried to explain this how it is done, and also will say if you go further and study on this, and that's about arbitration, we can say here. Let's say first of all what's arbitration here in clause 21. Let me tell you first of all those part of this clause, but arbitration is a different contract as far as law is concerned, because suppose contract is wound up, it doesn't work, but there are disputes with this resolved. And why disputes occurs, that's another point of view. Why disputes, payment disputes can be there, some other time extension disputes can be there, defects notification period disputes can be there. There can be disputes from each and every point of view. We have gone through contracts, conditions, real contract conditions, and contract conditions are disputable, work is disputable. Of course, it's not very common that you will get disputes maybe in 1% cases, otherwise nobody wants to raise dispute, nobody wants to go to arbitration, nobody wants to go to DAB. Why to waste time when we know what's right, what's wrong? If a contract is a professional one, sincere one, that would do engineering according to engineering requirement, so there may not be the question that work has gone against engineering. But points like somewhere in means disputes do occur due to many reasons, due to many ways. This cannot define just one talk, but disputes are disputes, and this is a technical one, contextual one, and it's not lawyer or advocate or judge can comprehend, will understand why it happened, because this is much work is done on sites just by working, just by speaking and ordering, and too much writing is not involved, but record speaks. If it's time when there's no formats for inspections were done, whatever way. So I try to say that. मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि हमको समझना है कि हम कौन सा कॉन्ट्रैक्ट यूज़ कर रहे हैं, क्यों कर रहे हैं, क्या पर्पज़ है, हम कितने सीरियस हैं कॉन्ट्रैक्ट यूज़ कर रहे हैं, उसका कितना समझते हैं ठेके को, हम कितना समझते हैं उस ठेके की चाल को, उस ठेके की रिक्वायरमेंट को, उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की रिक्वायरमेंट को, जो वो कहता है मैं इस तरह चलूँगा. आपने क्या ट्रैक दी है उसको चलने की, वो आपको देखना है वो ट्रैक या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वो कैसे एडमिनिस्टर किया जाए, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट किया जाए. आप चाहें या ना चाहें, आप एक कॉन्ट्रैक्टर हैं, आपने साइन किया है कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, तो आपको चलना तो पड़ेगा. आप मर भी जाएंगे तो आपके दूसरे लोग चलेंगे जो आपके लीगल एडिटी हैं. इस बात को भी समझना होगा. आर्बिट्रेशन में जाना डिस्प्यूट्स को लेके मजाक नहीं है, क्योंकि आर्बिट्रेशन में आर्बिटर बैठते हैं, आर्बिट्रेटर. क्या वो लोग इतने कॉम्पिटेंट हैं? ठीक है, आपने कहा कि इलेक्शन से आए हैं, इलेक्शन से आना या नहीं आना अलग बात है. वो जो काम करेंगे उस काम के उनको पैसे कहीं तो मिलेंगे. या गेस्ट बन के आएंगे, ऑब्लिगेशन करेंगे, ये बात है। जब डिस्प्यूट हो जाते हैं किसी भी वजह से, टेक्निकल बात हो, नॉन टेक्निकल बात हो, कमर्शियल बात हो, कोई भी किस्म का डिस्प्यूट जो कोर्ट से नहीं मिल सकता, जो हमको समझ भी नहीं आता क्या किया जाए, वैसे जितने भी आर्बिट्रेटर्स, कंसल्टेंट्स हैं, एवरीबॉडी हैज़ डिफरेंट वे। हमने माना डिस्प्यूट्स आर्बिट्रेशन में कैसे जाएं, क्या करें, थोड़ा हम देखते हैं कैसे होते हैं। कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ डीएबी, डीएबी का कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, डीएबी के मेंबर्स, और डिस्प्यूट्स को कैसे कम किया जाए, रोका जाए, और डैप्स के डिसीजन कैसे लिए जाएं, एमिकेबल सेटलमेंट क्या चीज़ है और आर्बिट्रेशन क्या चीज़ है। फेलियर टू कंप्लाई विद डैप्स डिसीजन इन डैप्स इन प्लेस, नॉट हैव इन प्लेस। आर्बिट्रेशन एक ऊंचा नाम, स्टैचुरी नेम। किसी ज़माने में चौधरी कहते थे, ये गांव के चौधरी हैं, ये गांव के बड़े लोग हैं, इनके फैसले को मानना होगा। आप उसे आज पंचायत भी कह देते हैं, उस टाइम भी क्या कहते हो मैं नहीं जानता, पंचायत ही कहते होंगे, जहाँ कुछ लोग बैठ के फैसले लें, कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है उनके पास। आज हम आर्बिट्रेशन एक्ट की बात तो नहीं कर रहे, लेकिन पढ़ना तो पड़ेगा। हम जब डिस्प्यूट्स में आ गए, अब सीधी बात तो नहीं कर सकते आर्बिट्रेशन एक्ट, क्योंकि आपको जब तक आपने स्टडी नहीं किया तो आपको समझ नहीं आएगा। लेकिन एक बात पक्का है, आर्बिट्रेशन तो होती है, सिविल में नहीं शायद इतनी, लेकिन हो सकती है। और आर्बिट्रेशन कोई ऐसा जाल भी नहीं है कि जिससे हम बचना चाहें, गंद भी नहीं है, बस एक डर होता है कि मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा क्लेम। वो डर नहीं होना चाहिए अगर आप सिंसियर हैं, तो नहीं होना चाहिए। वी हैव टू टेक केयर ऑफ दैट। पहले इंजीनियर होते थे, जिसको हम कहते हैं कंस्ट्रक्शन लाइन में, और वो इंजीनियर फैसला कर देते थे डिस्प्यूट्स का, और जब तक आप आर्बिट्रेशन में नहीं जाते वो फैसला वैलिड होता था, वो फैसला न्यूट्रल होता था, ना उसमें एम्प्लॉयर की पावर की शक्ति, ना कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की सम फैसिलिटी, और वो फैसला जो भी करता था इंजीनियर करता था। लेकिन अब दुनिया में बदलाव हुआ है, इंजीनियर भी एक इंस्टीट्यूशन नहीं है, एक इंडिविजुअल है। उससे मैं रेट बढ़ा दिया, क्या कर दिया, ऐसा हो सकता है, लेकिन जनरली होता नहीं है। यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी रियलिस्टिक अबाउट दिस। हमने कहा जी हम पढ़ेंगे इसको। डैप क्या है? डैप से बनता है डिस्प्यूट्स एडजुडिकेशन एंड अवॉइडेशन, डिस्प्यूट्स एडजुडिकेशन एंड अवॉइडेशन बोर्ड। ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म जो दोनों पार्टीज़ ने मिलके, एम्प्लॉयर ने और कॉन्ट्रैक्टर ने मिलके बनाया, एग्री किया। इसमें 3 मेंबर होंगे या जितने भी होंगे, इनको देखना होगा कि हमारी सेटलमेंट होती रहे, डिस्प्यूट्स ना आए, और हम जो कर रहे हैं वो कैसे कर रहे हैं। कभी कभी आएंगे, ये एग्रीमेंट होगा इनसे हर एक बार वर्क के लिए, प्रोसीजर्स के लिए, कि हम कौन से प्रोसीजर अप्लाई करेंगे इस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को चलाने के लिए। वो डैप्स या दूसरे बॉडी या हम खुद डिफाइन करेंगे। बहुत से कंडीशंस को माना जाएगा, जिनको नहीं माना जाएगा उन पे क्वेश्चन होंगे, रीजंस होगा कि आप क्यों नहीं मानते। बहुत से इश्यूज़ हैं। क्वालिटी अकेली नहीं की जा सकती, ये भी सत्य है, और जो समझते हम कर देंगे, गलतफहमी का तो कोई भी शिकार हो सकता है। मैं भी हो सकता हूँ, आप भी हो सकते हैं, कोई उसका अंत नहीं है। हम बात डैप की कर रहे हैं क्योंकि आर्बिट्रेशन को समझना है। आर्बिट्रेशन को समझने के लिए हमको बहुत कुछ समझना पड़ेगा। डैप को कैसे बनाया जाए, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट क्या कहता है, एफिडेविट क्या कहता है। डैप को हम पहले कंस्ट्रक्शन की बात करेंगे। कंस्ट्रक्शन में डैप को क्या समझा जाए। डैप देखते हैं, जल्दी पहुंचते हैं। 14-15 चल रहा है, 20 पे रुक जाएंगे आके। 20 आ गया। डिस्प्यूट्स एंड आर्बिट्रेशन 21। ये हमने रेड बुक खोला है पहले समझाने के लिए कि आखिर हम बात करेंगे इसके आगे भी, लेकिन अभी थोड़ा प्रीलिमिनरी स्टडी कर रहे हैं, जस्ट प्रीलिमिनरी स्टडी अबाउट डैप, डिस्प्यूट्स एंड आर्बिट्रेशन, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ डैप पहला पॉइंट है इसमें। उसके बाद फेलियर टू अपॉइंट डैप मेंबर्स, अवॉइडेंस ऑफ डिस्प्यूट्स, obtaining DAP's decision, amicable settlement, arbitration, failure to comply with DAP decision, no DAP in place। और ये ही छोटा सा पेज, छोटी सी कंडीशंस, लेकिन पावरफुल। First point is that this is other contract, this is not construction contract. Construction contracts is independent of arbitration. It's not necessary that you have to go to arbitration every time. It's not necessary. You have to get done through arbitration. You can get it done through yourself. DAB, DAAB. Disputes shall be decided by DAB in accordance with obtaining DAP's decision clause. Parties shall jointly appoint members of DAP within time stated in contract data, and if it's not stated, 28 days after date of contractor receives letter of acceptance। क्या मतलब इस बात का? Disputes shall be decided by DAP in accordance with subclause which is given later, obtaining DAP's decision. Parties shall jointly appoint members of DAP within time stated in contract data, and if not stated, in 28 days of acceptance of letter acceptance. DAP shall comprise, as stated in contract data, either one suitably qualified member, one member, you can say that's called sole member, or three suitably qualified members, or we can say members. If number is not so stated and parties do not agree otherwise, DAP shall comprise three members. DAP shall comprise, as stated in contract data, either one suitably qualified member, that is called sole member, or three suitably qualified members, which are called members. If number is not so stated, parties do not have any option otherwise, and DAP shall comprise three members. Sole member of three members. Sole member when a single person is there. Sole member or three members shall be selected from those named in list in contract data, other than whosoever who is unable to you can say sole member or three members shall be selected from those named in list of contract data, other than anyone who is unable to willing to accept appointment to DAP. If DAP is to comprise three members, Each party shall select one member for agreement of other party. Parties shall consult both these members and shall agree for third member who shall be appointed to act as chairperson of DAB. DAB shall be deemed to be constituted on date that parties and sole member of all three members of DAB have all agreed, all signed a DAB agreement. Terms of remuneration of either sole member or each of three members, including remuneration of whatever expert whom so we can say DAB shall be deemed to be constituted on date that parties and sole member of three members of DAB have all signed a DAB agreement. Term of remuneration of either sole member or each of three members, including remuneration of expert whom DAB consults, shall be mutually agreed by parties when agreeing terms of DAB agreement. Each party shall be responsible for paying one half of this remuneration. Whatever time parties so agree, they may appoint a suitably qualified person or persons to replace we can say terms of termination of either of sole member or each of three members, including remuneration of expert whom DAB consults, shall be mutually agreed by parties when agreeing terms of DAB agreement. Each party shall be responsible for paying half of this remuneration. And if at any time, whatever time parties so agree, they may appoint a suitably qualified person or persons to replace either one or more members of DAB. Unless parties agree otherwise, a replacement DAB member shall be appointed if a member declines to act or is unable to act as a result of death, illness, disability, resignation or termination of appointment. Replacement member shall be appointed in the same manner as replaced member was required to have been selected or agreed as described. Appointment of members may be terminated. Appointment of member may be terminated by mutual agreement of both parties, but not by employer or contractor acting alone. Unless otherwise agreed by both parties, term of DAB, including appointment of each member, shall expire either on date of discharge shall have become or deemed to have become effective under discharge article, discharge clause, and 28 days after DAB has given its decision on all disputes referred to it. Obtaining DAB's decision clause before such discharge has become effective, whichever is later. However, if contract is terminated under whatever subclause of these conditions or otherwise, term of DAB, including appointment of each member, shall expire 28 days after. DAB has given its decision on all disputes which were referred to it. Obtained DAB's decision within 224 days after date of termination. DAP has given rescission all disputes which were referred to it under obtaining DAP's decision clause within 224 days after date of termination. Date that parties reach a final agreement on all matters, including payment in connection with termination, whichever is earlier. झगड़े को सॉल्व करना है या झगड़ा ख़त्म कराना है, पार्टी ऑनर और कॉन्ट्रैक्ट के बीच में झगड़ा हो जाए किसी बात पे, तो आर्बिट्रेशन से पहले का जो स्टेप हो सकता है डैप का हो सकता है, जिसको हम कहते हैं झगड़े को बचाना, झगड़े को रोकना का तरीका जो आपको जाना पड़ेगा मार्केट में जहाँ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक पर चलता है, ऐसा चलता है आर्बिट्रेशन में, और ये पावर दिखा के अपनी एक मेंबर भी हो सकता है डैब में, 3 मेंबर भी हो सकते हैं, ये आपके ऊपर है एग्रीमेंट क्या कहता है या आपने क्या फैसला किया है। दोनों पार्टी एक एक मेंबर को अपॉइंट कर सकती हैं और दूसरा ऑब्जेक्ट करे ना करे वो अलग बात है, और वो दोनों मिलके अपने चेयरमैन को अपॉइंट कर सकते हैं, और उसके बाद जो बताया कितना देंगे सवाल हमारा नहीं है, जो भी लें रीज़नेबल होगा। और जब भी काम उनके पास जाता है, कोई भी क्वेश्चन जाता है, उसको वो आंसर देंगे, और जब सारे क्वेश्चन का आंसर ख़त्म हो जाएगा आप कह सकते हैं डैप इज़ नॉट रिक्वायर्ड। ये बात समझना है। क्या होगा क्या कहते हैं फेलियर टू अपॉइंट डैब मेंबर्स, फेल हो गए, हमने अपॉइंट नहीं किया, इसका क्या रिजल्ट है, सोचना तो पड़ेगा। क्या कहते हैं एनी ऑफ इफ सर्टेन ऑफ फॉलोइंग कंडीशंस अप्लाई, नेमली क्या क्या कंडीशंस देखिए, if DAB is to comprise of sole member, DAB सिर्फ sole member का है, parties fail to agree appointment of this member, if DAB is to comprise of sole member, parties fail to agree appointment of this member by date stated in first paragraph, that is constitution of DAB. दूसरा, if DAB is to comprise 3 persons and if by date stated in first paragraph of constitution of DAB either party fails to select a member for agreement by other party, either party fails to select a member for agreement by other party, either party fails to agree a member selected by other party, or parties fail to agree determination or otherwise date clause। एक तो यह कि पार्टी नहीं करती अपॉइंट, और दूसरी पार्टी मानती नहीं है कि दूसरे ने अपॉइंट किया है, हमारे क्यों, एक पार्टी जिसने अपॉइंट किया दूसरे नहीं मानती, और अपॉइंटमेंट पे फेल हो जाते हैं, पार्टी फेल टू एग्री अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ थर्ड मेंबर टू एक्ट एज चेयरपर्सन, पार्टीज फेल हो जाती हैं, पार्टीज फेल टू एग्री अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ थर्ड मेंबर एक्ट एज चेयरपर्सन ऑफ डैब, Parties fail to agree appointment of replacement with 42 days after date on which sole member or one of three members decline to act as unable to act as a result of death, illness, disability, resignation or termination of appointment. If parties fail to agree appointment of replacement 42 days after date of which date sole members or three members declines to act as unable to act as a result of death, illness, disability, resignation or termination of appointment. If after parties have agreed appointment of members or replacement, such appointment cannot be effective because one party refuses or fails to sign the agreement with any such members or replacement. As case may be, within 14 days of then appointing parties, if after parties have agreed appointment of members or replacement, such appointment cannot be effected because one party refuses or fails to sign the agreement with whatever such member of the placement, as case may be, within 14 days of other parties request to do so. Then appointing an entity or official named in contact data shall, at request of either or both parties, after due consultation with both parties, appoint members of DAB who, in case of subparagraph D above, shall be agreed members or replacement. This appointment shall be final and conclusive. जो भी अथॉरिटी मेंशन है वो अपॉइंट करेगी, अगर दोनों पार्टी नहीं मानती हैं तो एक नहीं मानती. Therefore, parties and members appointed shall be deemed to have signed and bound by DAB agreement, under which monthly services fees and daily fees shall be as stated in terms of appointment, and law governing DAB agreement shall be governing law of contract, that is law and language. Each party shall be responsible for paying one half of remuneration of appointment or appointing entity or official if contractor pays remuneration in full. Contractor shall include one half of amount of such remuneration in statement, and employer shall then pay contractor in accordance with contract. If employer pays remuneration in full, engineer shall include one half of amount of such remuneration as deduction, and that is IPC. Now, झगड़े को कैसे रोका जाए? अभी तो हमने अपॉइंटमेंट की बात की, पहले डिफाइन किया कि क्या है डैब, कौन कौन उसमें हो सकता है. हमने कहा सिंगल भी हो सकते हैं, तीन भी हो सकते हैं, और उसके बाद वो मानते हैं नहीं मानती पार्टीज, उसकी बात की गई. Parties accept or parties don't accept, and also whether it was single person, you can say tribunal or DAB, and or three persons, and how we have to convince our representative people how to take care of such issue. हम चलते हैं एडवांसेस ऑफ अवॉइडेंस ऑफ डिस्प्यूट. हम चाहते हैं डिस्प्यूट हो ही ना, झगड़े बंद हों, चले नहीं जाए आगे, एमिकेबल सेटल हो जाए. वी वांट दैट. Avoidance of disputes is always in interest of both parties to avoid disputes and to decide whatever they can until it is beyond limit or beyond, you can say, some legal powers. It's written, you can say, avoidance of disputes. If parties so agree, they may jointly request in writing with a copy to engineer DAB to provide assistance, and or informally discuss and attempt to resolve issues or disagreement that may have arisen between them during performance of contract. If DAP becomes aware of an issue or disagreement, it may invite parties to make such a joint request. Again I read, if parties so agree, अगर पार्टी मान लेती हैं, वो रिक्वेस्ट कर सकती हैं कॉपी इंजीनियर को देके. They may jointly request in writing with a copy to engineer DAP to provide assistance. वो DAP को रिक्वेस्ट कर सकती हैं इंजीनियर को कॉपी भेजने के बाद, ये हमारी सहायता कीजिए. फॉर्मली वो रिक्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं. Informally discuss and attempt to resolve issues or disagreements. If DAP becomes aware of an issue or disagreement, it may invite parties to make such a joint request. दोनों पार्टीज को, एम्प्लॉयर को और कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को, जॉइंट स्टेटमेंट लिख के देना होगा. Such joint request may be made at whatever time, except during the period such joint request may be made at whatever time except during period that engineer is carrying out duties under agreement or determination on matter at issue of disagreements, unless parties agree otherwise. Such informal assistance may take place during whatever meeting, site visit or otherwise. However, unless parties agree otherwise, both parties shall be present at such discussion. Parties are not bound to act on whatever advice given during such informal meetings, and DAB shall not be bound in whatever future dispute resolution process or decision by whatever views or advice given during informal assistance process, whether provided orally or in writing. जब दोनों जॉइंट रिक्वेस्ट बना देते हैं कि हमें ये फैसला कराइए या पता सजेस्ट कीजिए, जबकि इंजीनियर उस पर काम ना कर रहा, उस समय कोई मीटिंग हो कहीं कर सकते हैं, व्हाटएवर मीटिंग हो उसमें भी बात हो सकती है, साइट विजिट पे हो सकती है. पार्टीज की पेमेंट का सवाल है. ये दोनों जो असिस्टेंस मांग रहे हैं मिलेगी, लेकिन बाइंडिंग किसी की भी नहीं है. ये सवाल उठता है. ये फॉर्मूला फ्रेज, ये पैराग्राफ, सच इनफॉर्मल असिस्टेंस may take place during whatever meeting, site visit or otherwise. However, unless parties agree otherwise, both parties shall be present at such discussions. Parties are not bound to act on any advice. अभी हम चाहते हैं विद अवॉइडेंस ऑफ डिस्प्यूट हो गया, ऑब्टेनिंग डैप्स डिसीजन, डैप के फैसले को कैसे लिया जाए, कैसे प्राप्त किया जाए डैप के फैसले। इफ डिस्प्यूट अराइजेज बिटवीन पार्टीज then either party may refer dispute to DAB for its decision, whether or not informal discussions have been held under avoidance of disputes, and following provisions apply. Reference to reference of a dispute to DAB. Reference of a dispute to DAB. Reference of a dispute to DAB shall, under agreement or determination, apply to subject matter of dispute be made within 42 days of giving or receiving NOD, notice of dissatisfaction, under dissatisfaction with ingenious determination. If DAB is not referred to, if DAB is not referred to, DAB, if dispute is not referred to, if dispute is not referred to DAB within 42 days, such notice of dissatisfaction shall be deemed to have lapsed and no longer be valid. So, limitation is 42 days. State that it is given under subclause. Set out referring party's case relating to dispute. Be in writing with copies to other party and engineers. For a DAB of these, for a DAB of three persons be deemed to have been received by DAB on date it is received by chairperson of DAB. Reference of a dispute to DAB. Reference of a dispute to DAB under this clause shall, unless prohibited by law, be deemed to interrupt running of whatever applicable statute of limitations are valid. You can say reference of dispute to DAB under this clause shall, unless prohibited by law, be deemed to interrupt running of whatever applicable statute of limitations or prescription period. Parties' obligations after reference. Parties' obligations after reference. I'm feeling a little cold. I don't know why. It's very cold. Is it? Yes, it is cold. We must take care of that, of course. यार ये खंबा खबर कर जानी कट कट So, parties' obligations after reference. Both parties shall promptly make available to DAB all information. दोनों पार्टियां इंफॉर्मेशन देंगी रैप को. बोथ पार्टीज शैल promptly make available to DAB all information, access to site and appropriate facilities as DAB may be required for purpose of making decision on dispute. Unless contract has already been abandoned, or terminated, Parties shall continue to perform their obligations in accordance with contract. Unless contract has already been abandoned or terminated, parties shall continue to perform their obligations in accordance with contract. DAB's decision. DAB shall complete and give its decision within 84 days after receiving reference. 84 days. You may say 12 weeks, 84 days after receiving reference, or such period as may be proposed by DAB and agreed by both parties. Such period as may be proposed by DAB and agreed by both parties. However, if at end of this period due dates for payment of DAB members' invoice has passed, but such invoice remains unpaid, DAB shall not be obliged to give its decision until such outstanding invoices have been paid in full, in which case DAB shall give its decision as soon as practicable after payment has been received. Decision shall be given in writing to both parties with a copy to engineer, shall be reasoned and shall state that it is given under this subclause. Decision shall be binding on both parties, who shall promptly comply with it whether or not a party gives a NOD, notice of dissatisfaction. With respect to such decision under this clause, employer shall be responsible for engineer's compliance with DAB decision. Decision of DAB requires a payment of an amount by one party to other party, subject to subparagraph that this amount shall be immediately due and payable without any certification or notice. And DAB may, as part of decision, at request of a party, but only if there are reasonable grounds for DAB to believe that payee will be unable to repay such amount in event that decision is reversed by arbitration, require payee to provide an appropriate security in respect of such amount. DAB proceeding shall not be deemed to be an arbitration, and DAB shall not act as arbitrators. Dissatisfaction with DAB's decision. असंतोष है डैब के फैसले से और हम नहीं मानते, हमको असंतोष है, डिससैटिस्फैक्शन है. Important clause. If either party is dissatisfied with DAB's decision, कोई भी पार्टी खुश नहीं है डैब के फैसले से, such party may give notice of dissatisfaction to other party with a copy to DAB and to engineer, This NOD shall state that it is a notice of dissatisfaction with DAP's decision and shall set out matter in dispute for such party may give notice of dissatisfaction to the party with a copy to DAB and to engineer. This notice of dissatisfaction shall state not notice of dissatisfaction with DAB's decision and shall set out matter in dispute and reasons for dissatisfaction. This notice of dissatisfaction shall be given within 28 days after receiving DAB's decision. 28 days is limit here. If DAB fails to give its decision within period stated, either party may within 28 days after this period has expired give a notice of dissatisfaction to other party in accordance with subparagraph above, except as stated in last paragraph, dissatisfaction with engineer's determination, failure to comply with DAB's decision, and subclause no DAB in place, neither party shall be entitled to commence arbitration of dispute unless NOD in respect of dispute has been given in accordance with subclause given above. If DAB has given its decision as to matter in dispute to both parties and no notice of dissatisfaction has been given by either party within 28 days after receiving DAB's decision shall become final and binding on both parties. Means if dissatisfied party is dissatisfied with only parts of the decision, if dissatisfied party is dissatisfied with only parts of DAB's decision, this part shall be clearly identified in notice of dissatisfaction. This part and whatever other part of decision that are affected by such parts are rely on if dissatisfied party is dissatisfied with only parts of DAB's decision, this part shall be clearly identified on notice of dissatisfaction. This part are the parts of decisions that are affected by such parts or rely on such parts for completeness shall be deemed to be severable from remainder of decision. Remainder of decision shall become final binding on both parties as if now remainder of decision shall become final binding on both parties and only has not been given. कहने का मतलब है जो भी डैप ने डिसीजन दिया, एक तो यह कि आप डिसीजन को नहीं मानते, नोटिस ऑफ डिससैटिस्फैक्शन दे दीजिए, या दोनों पार्टी नोटिस ऑफ डिससैटिस्फैक्शन नहीं देती हैं तो दोनों पार्टी इसको मानती हैं और बाइंडिंग है दोनों पर, और यदि किसी पार्टी को किसी पार्ट पे ऑब्जेक्शन है डिसीजन के, तो उसको वो लिख सकते हैं कि हमें इस बात पे ऑब्जेक्शन है और बाकी हम मानते हैं, और उसको क्लियरली बताएंगे। कंप्लीट तभी होगा जब हम सबको समझेंगे, और जो भी आपको डिससेटिस्फेक्शन है और जिस पर नहीं है, वो फाइनल एंड बाइंडिंग है दोनों पार्टीज पर। ये बात है इसकी। एमिकेबल सेटलमेंट, amicable settlement. When a NOD, when a notice of dissatisfaction has been given under obtaining DAP's decision, both parties shall attempt to settle dispute amicably before commencement of arbitration. Where NOD has been given under DAP's decision, both parties shall attempt to settle dispute amicably before commencement of arbitration. आर्बिट्रेशन में जाने से पहले कोशिश करें कि आपके नोटिस ऑफ डिससेटिस्फेक्शन देने के बाद भी कोशिश करें कि आपका फैसला यहीं हो जाए और आर्बिट्रेशन में जाने की नौबत ना आए. However, unless both parties agree otherwise, arbitration may be commenced on or after 28 days after date on which NOD was given to the However, unless both parties agree otherwise, arbitration may be commenced on or after 28 days after date on which this notice of dissatisfaction was given, even if no attempt at amicable settlement has been made. Arbitration. Arbitration important part, मजाक नहीं है, खेल नहीं है, ये आर्बिट्रेशन है, एक तरह का फैसला होना है. इसलिए इसका क्लास कहता है आर्बिट्रेशन. आर्बिट्रेशन को हिंदी में क्या कहेंगे? एक सेकंड में सोचता हूँ क्या कहेंगे इसको. बहुत सी चीज़ें समझ नहीं आती हैं कई बार. आर्बिट्रेशन को हिंदी में क्या कहेंगे? सोचें google.com पर जाके. आर्बिट्रेशन क्या है? आर्बिट्रेशन मीनिंग हिंदी मध्यस्थता करना. मध्यस्थता करना. आई सी. आर्बिट्रेशन मीनिंग in Hindi, act of deciding as an arbiter, giving authoritative judgment. Arbitrator, so this is मध्यस्थता करना. एक बात तो समझ आई. आर्बिट्रेशन एक्ट. Conciliation India Act. दो 2015. मिला, कुछ तो मिला, कुछ तो मिला. Okay, I got something. It's better. We got it. I'll close some further file. There's no need of that. In fact, let me see. Can we save it? Save as. Save as active loss में डाल देते हैं उसको. I'm just saving it. Hold on, please. It's an important file. That's why I'm trying to save it. सर हमने सेव कर लिया, कोई बात नहीं है. आई विल गो टू दैट and I'll save it also in this. Okay, ये है arbitration act. आपने, I don't know whether you've gone through this or not before, but this is what it says. I save it also here. ये है arbitration act और भारत का राज्यपत्र, गैजेट ऑफ इंडिया, Ministry of Law and Justice. Ministry of Law and Justice. Published by authority. This is extraordinary. Section 1, Part 2. Published by authority. New Delhi, January 2016. Pausha 11. Ministry of Law and Justice. Following Act of Parliament received assent of President on 31st December 2015. And is hereby published for general information. Right? So we have to understand this also very clearly. And meanwhile, I'll try to close certain files here. For example, I try to close this file of Red. I to hold in, and I keep these files open, and of course, this files open I keep this file open and I keep this here, and of course I go to and keep, I think this file I keep open, that's here, Bharat Rajpatra, and I close this. Alright, so this is here Bharat ka Rajpatra. It says there are so many pages, 15 pages, no problem. It says that following it may say something here. Yes, following Act of Parliament. Following Act of Parliament received assent of President on 31st December 2015 and is hereby published for general information. Its title is Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Sudhar Act 2015. Number 3 is 2000. This is actually not new act, this is amendment. An act to amend Arbitration and Conciliation Act 1996. Be it enacted by Parliament in 66th year of the Republic of India as follows. This act may be called Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Act 2015. It shall be deemed to have come into force on 23rd October 2015. In this, I want to blow it. I think if I blow it further, it's better. Right. In Arbitration Conciliation Act 1996, 1996 का एक्ट क्या कहता है? The hereafter referred to as Principal Act 96 says, for a clause E, following clause shall be substituted. What is meaning of court? Court means in case of arbitration, other than international commercial arbitration, principal court, civil court of original jurisdiction in a district, and includes High Court in exercise of its ordinary original civil jurisdiction. Having jurisdiction to decide questions forming subject matter of arbitration if same had been subject matter of suit, but doesn't include any civil court of its grade inferior to such principal civil court or court of small causes. In case of international commercial arbitration, High Court in exercise of its ordinary original civil jurisdiction, having jurisdiction to decide questions forming subject matter of arbitration if same had been subject matter of a suit, and other cases, a High Court having jurisdiction to hear appeals from decrees of courts subordinate to High Court. In case of international commercial arbitration, High Court in exercise of its ordinary original jurisdiction, having jurisdiction to decide questions forming subject matter of arbitration if same had been subject matter of a suit, and in other cases, a High Court having jurisdiction to hear appeals from decrees of courts subordinate to High Court. In subclause B, word company or shall be omitted. Company or a company or. In subsection, following provision shall be inserted, namely, provided that subject to agreement of contrary provisions of section 927 and clause A of subsection and subsection 3 of section 37 shall apply in international commercial arbitration, even if place of arbitration is outside India, and an arbitral award made or to be made in such places enforceable and recognized here under provision of this Act. In Section 7 of Municipal Act, after words or other means of telecommunication, words including communication through electronic media shall be inserted. In Section 8 of Municipal Act, a judicial authority before which an action is brought in a matter which is subject of an arbitration agreement shall, if a party to arbitration agreement or person claiming through or under that person, so applies not later than date of submitting for statement on substance of dispute, then when notwithstanding judgment, decree or order of Supreme Court or the court refer parties to arbitration unless it finds that prima facie no valid arbitration agreement exists. Very important point. A judicial authority before which action is brought in a matter which is subject of an arbitration agreement shall, if a party to arbitration agreement or related person claiming through or under that person, so applies not later than date of submitting first statement on substance of dispute, then notwithstanding whatever judgment, decree or order of Supreme Court or whatever court refer parties to arbitration unless it finds that so it's very important point. It says judgment, decree or order, notwithstanding any judgment, decree or order of Supreme Court or court, whatever court, refer parties to arbitration unless it finds that prima facie no valid arbitration agreement exists. Following provision shall be inserted, namely, says, provided that where original arbitration agreement or certified copy thereof is not available with party applying for reference to arbitration, and said agreement or certified copy is retained by other party to that agreement when parties so applying shall file such application along with a copy of arbitration agreement and a petition praying court to call upon other party to produce original arbitration agreement or its duly certified copy before that court. Section 9 of Principal Act shall be renumbered, and as the number renumbered, following subsections shall be inserted, namely, where before commencement of arbitral proceedings a court passes an order or interim measure of protection under arbitral proceedings shall be commenced within a period of 90 days from date of such order or within such further time as court may determine. Once tribunal has been constituted, once arbitral tribunal has been constituted, court shall not entertain an application under subsection unless court finds that circumstances exist which may render remedy provided under section FE. Yes. So these are certain provisions. Chief Justice or any person or institution, Chief Justice or any person or institution designated by Chief Justice whenever they occur before Supreme Court or as case may be High Court, or where person or institution designated by such court shall be substituted. Following subsection will be inserted. Supreme Court or as case may be High Court, while considering application under shall be notwithstanding judgment, any judgment, decree or order of any court confined to examination of existence of an arbitration agreement, designation of person, institution or by Supreme Court or as case may be High Court for purpose of this section shall not be regarded as a delegation of judicial power by Supreme Court or High Court. Forwards Chief Justice or person or institution designated by him for Supreme Court as case may be High Court or person or institution designated by such court is final, and no appeal including latest patent appeal shall lie against such decision. Letters shall be substituted. Following subsections shall be substituted. Supreme Court or as case may be High Court or person or institution designated by such court before appointing an arbitrator shall seek a disclosure in writing from prospective arbitrator in terms of subsection with regard to qualifications required for arbitrator by agreement of parties and contents of disclosure or other considerations, or is likely to secure appointment of independent or impartial arbitrator. Chief Justice of India or person instituted designated by him, Supreme Court or person or institution designated by court shall be substituted. Supreme Court or as case may be High Court may make such scheme as said court may deem appropriate for dealing with matters. Chief Justices of different High Courts, so they are designated Chief Justice or is designated to whom request has been made. What's different High Courts of this designates High Court or designate to whom request has been made shall be substituted. So these are certain points. We can read them. We are downloading this. We can say means we can just browse on this and see what is actually there contained in this act. You can say there are various methods here. We have to go through them in depth. Only then we can see that we have gone through this gadget of introductory government. Yeah, fees here. I'll be back after some time. Let me go now for 5 minutes and be back. It's as usual. Nothing new in this. I'll go back. Come back. have seen this scale of what I mean to say. You must have seen this, and it's really interesting to note something here that I am going to show you. In fact, this is, here is what it's seen. This is, you can say, this is for the schedule, and before that here some points we have to read. We will read them in details one day when we also compare it with Arbitration Act 96. Now here is schedule, that is for the schedule, which is an amendment. This is up to 5 lakhs, up to rupees 5 lakhs if there is dispute. Model fee is 45,000. This is 9%, you can say, not 9%, I'm sorry, 0.9%, 500,000. 500,000 is, this is 45,000, 9%. Above 500,000 to 20 lakhs, 2 lakhs. This is 3.5% of claim amount. So 3.5%, then 3%, then 1%, 0.75%. If it's more than that, 0.75%, and then this is if it's about 20 crore. If it is 20 crores, then 0.5% of claim amount, and there is ceiling of rupees above 20 crores with ceiling of rupees, you can say 30 lakhs. In event arbitral tribunal is the sole arbitrator, shall be entitled to an additional amount of 25% off on fee payable per table set out. Now, important point is fifth schedule says following grounds give rise to justifiable doubts as to independence or impartiality of arbitrators. An arbitrator is an employee, consultant, advisor, or has other past or present business relationship with party. So it is a kind of, you can say, suspicion, relationship with parties or counsel. There should not be arbitrators, relationship with parties or counsel. Arbitrator is an employee, consultant, advisor, or has whatever other past or present business relationship with a party. Arbitrator currently represents or advises one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties. Arbitrator currently represents lawyer or law firm acting as counsel for one of parties. Arbitrator is a lawyer in same law firm which is representing one of parties. Arbitrator is a manager, director, or part of management, or has a smaller similar controlling influence in an affiliate of one of parties if affiliate is directly involved in matter disputes in arbitration. Arbitrator's law firm has a previous but terminated involvement in case with arbitrator being involved himself or herself. Arbitrator's law firm currently has a significant commercial relationship with one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties. Arbitrators regularly advises appointing party or an affiliate of appointing party, even though neither arbitrator nor firms drives its significant financial income therefrom. Arbitrator has a close family relationship with one of parties, and in case of companies with persons in management and controlling company, a close family member of arbitrator has a significant financial interest in one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties. Arbitrator is a legal representative of an entity that is a party in arbitration. Arbitrator is a manager, director, or part of management, or is a similar controlling influence in one of parties. Arbitrator has a significant financial interest in one of parties or outcome of case. Arbitrator regularly advises appointing party or an affiliate of appointing party, and arbitrator has a firm advises significant financial income to their firm. Relationship arbitrator dispute. Arbitrator has given legal advice or provided expert opinion on dispute to party or affiliate of one of parties. Arbitrator has previously involved in case. Arbitrator's direct or indirect interest in dispute. Arbitrator holds shares either directly or indirectly in one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties that is privately held. A close family member of arbitrator has a significant financial interest in the outcome of dispute. Arbitrator or a close family member of arbitrator has a close relationship with a third party who may be liable to recourse on part of unsuccessful party dispute. Previous services for one of parties or other involvement in case. Arbitrator has within past 3 years served as counsel for one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties, or has previously advised or been consulted by party or an affiliate of party making appointment of him in an unrelated manner, but arbitrator and party or affiliate of party have no ongoing relationship. This is the important part. Let us see how many parts are there. We'll see. Let us see. So let's go one by one here. It's very important part here. Now let's say it's very important. Point 20, as arbiter has within past 2 years served as counsel for one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties, or has previously advised or been consulted by party or an affiliate party making appointment in an unrelated manner, but arbitrator and party or affiliate of party have no ongoing relationship. Arbitrator has within past 3 years served as counsel against one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties in an unrelated manner. Arbitrator has within past 3 years been appointed as arbitrator on 2 or more occasions by one of parties or an affiliate of one of these parties. Arbitrator's law firm has within past 3 years acted for one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties in an unrelated manner without involvement of arbitrator. Arbitrator currently serves as or has served within past 3 years as arbitrator in another arbitration on a related issue involving one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties. Relationship between an arbitrator and another arbitrator or counsel. Arbitrator and another arbitrator are lawyers in same law firm. Arbitrator was within past 3 years a partner of or otherwise affiliated with another arbitrator or either of counsel in same arbitration. A lawyer in arbitrator's law firm is an arbitrator in another's dispute involving same party or parties. of an affiliate of one of parties. A close family member of arbitrator is a partner or employee of law firm. Representing one of parties but is not assisting with dispute. Arbitrator has within past 3 years received more than 3 appointments by same counsel or same law firm. Relationship between arbitrator and party and other involved in arbitration. Arbitrator's law firm is currently acting adverse to one of parties or an affiliate in one of parties. Arbitrator has been associated within past 3 years with a party or an affiliate of one of parties in a professional capacity, such as a former employee or partner. Other circumstances: arbitrator holds shares either directly or indirectly, which by reason of number of or denominations constitute a material holding in one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties that is publicly listed. Arbitrator holds a position in the arbitration institution with appointing authority over dispute. Arbitrator is the manager, director, or part of management and has similar controlling influence in an affiliate of one of parties, whereas affiliate is not directly involved in matter or dispute. Term close family members refers to spouse, sibling, child. Parent or life partner refers to spouse, sibling, child, parent or life partner. Term affiliate encompasses all companies in one group of companies, including parent company. For removal of doubts, clarify that may be practiced in certain specific kinds of arbitration, such as maritime or commodities arbitration, to draw arbitrators from a small specialized pool. In such field, it is custom and practice for parties frequently to appoint same arbitrator in different cases. This is a relevant fact to be taken into account while applying rules set out above. Sixth schedule: contact details, prior experience, including experience with arbitrations, number of ongoing arbitrations. See, contact details is prior experience, including experience with arbitrations, number of ongoing arbitrations, circumstances disclosing any past or present relationship with or interest in any of parties or in relation to subject matter in dispute, whether financial, business, professional or other kind, which is likely to give rise to justifiable doubts as to your independence or impartiality. List out. Then Gazette of India, and circumstances which are likely to affect your ability to devote sufficient time to the arbitration, and particular your ability to finish entire arbitration within 12 months. Seventh schedule: arbitrator's relationship with parties or counsel. Arbitrators an employee, consultant, advisor, or has any other past or present business relationship with party. Arbitrator currently represents or advises one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties. Arbitrator currently represents lawyer or law firm acting as counsel for one of parties. Arbitrator is a lawyer in same law firm which is representing one of parties. Arbitrator is a manager, director, or part of management, or has a similar controlling influence or in affiliate of one of parties whose affiliate is directly involved in matters in dispute or arbitration. Arbitrator's law firm had previous but terminated involvement in case without arbitrators being involved himself. Arbitrator's law firm currently has a significant commercial relationship with one of parties or affiliate of one of parties. Arbitrator regularly advises appointing party or an affiliate of appointing party, even though neither arbitrator nor his firm derives a significant financial income therefrom. Arbitrator has a close family relationship with one of parties and in case of companies with persons in management and controlling company. A close family member of arbitrator has a significant financial interest in one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties. Arbitrator has a legal representative of an entity that is a party in arbitration. Arbitrator is a manager, director, or partner of management or has a similar controlling influence in one of parties. Arbitrator has a significant financial interest in one of parties or outcome of case. Arbitrator has a significant financial interest in of parties in outcome of case. Arbitrator regularly advises appointing party or an affiliate of appointing party and arbitrator or his firm derives a significant financial income therefrom. Relationship of arbitrator to dispute. Arbitrator has given legal advice or provided an expert opinion on dispute to a party or an affiliate of one of parties. Arbitrator has previous involvement in case. Arbitrator's direct or indirect interest in dispute. Arbitrator holds shares either directly or indirectly in one of parties or an affiliate of one of parties that is privately held. A close family member of arbitrator has a significant financial interest in outcome of dispute. And then arbitrator or a close family member of arbitrator has a close relationship with a third party who may be liable to recourse on part of his successful party in dispute. Term close family relations refer to spouse, siblings, child, parent or life partner. Affiliate encompasses all companies in one group of companies including parent company. And for removal of doubt, it is clarified that it may be practiced in certain specific kinds of arbitration such as maritime or commodities arbitration to draw arbitrators from a small specialized pool if in such fields it is custom and practice for parties frequently to appoint same arbitrator in different cases. This is a relatively relevant fact to be taken into account while applying rules set out above. Nothing contained in this section shall apply to arbitral proceedings commenced in accordance with provisions section 21 of Principal Act before commencement of this Act, unless parties otherwise agree, but this Act shall apply in relation to arbitral proceedings commenced on or after date of commencement of this Act. Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Act Ordinary 2015 is hereby repealed, notwithstanding such repeals that anything done in action taken under Principal Act as amended by said ordinance shall be deemed to have been done or taken under corresponding provisions of Principal Act. So, this was printed by General Manager, Government of India Press, Mountain Road, New Delhi, and published by Controller of Publication of 2016. And this is what we say about this in Bharat Rajpatra Gazette of India, Extraordinary, published by Authority. And we come back to our own system of about what we are talking, and it's now what we said. So we have just demonstrated about requirements of this, and in fact it's very important that we gone through talked of now arbitration is something which is very important from viewpoint, and we were discussing about this. I will refer to Act also later on. Want to see that act, I think if I can go and show you now. I don't know whether it's within like study. Let me check it a minute, please. It is in fact should be somewhere here, if I'm sure. It should be arbitration and reconciliation 96 amendment bill 2018. I maybe there was another one. Okay, 18 is also there. Let me see what is that. That is a bill. I don't know if it's done or not. Let me see if it's done or not. We'll see it later on. I'm not sure about that, but let us see amendment bill, what it says. There was a bill. That was what happened to that. That was somewhere here. It should be open first. Let me see what 18 says. I'll make sure whether it was approved or not approved, because they're 3 years old. This is 2018 and Arbitration Conciliation Amendment Act 2018, and it's only 9 pages. So what is in this special? Arbitral institution means arbitral institution prescribed this. So I think it is something maybe Supreme Court High Court says empowers this. So let me see. Chief Justice of High Court. I got this to you also after. Let me see. Means Section 17 Principal Act, words and figures, amendment Section 7, to make arbitral award before enforced in accordance with this. I think Principal Act furnishes proof that words establishes on basis of record. So I think not spending anything contained. I will go through this. Arbitration Council of India. In this part, in this context, otherwise requires the chairperson means chairperson of Arbitration Council of India. Council means Arbitration Council of India, and members means member of council. To chairperson, central government shall by delegation of the council proposes that council be known as Arbitration Council of India to perform duties and discharge of function under this act. And the council shall be a body corporate by name aforesaid, having prospectus of session and own seal, subject to the provisions of this act. So head office of council shall be at Delhi. Council may be the prior approval of council government. Council shall consist of following members: chief person who has been Justice of Supreme Court, Chief Justice of High Court Judge, etc., etc. Then eminent abilities of practicing having been knowledge and experience in institutional arbitration, both domestic and international. Eminent academicians having experience in research and termination, and Secretary Government of provide chairperson member shall have officers as well. Okay, no, next shall be duty of council to take such measures as may be necessary to promote and encourage arbitration, mediation, conciliation, or other related disputes resolution mechanism, and for purpose of frame policies and guidelines. So we'll go through this also. What does it mean? And council make grading of arbitral institutions on basis of criteria relating to infrastructure, quality, and caliber of arbitration, performance and compliance of time limits to all disputes, qualifications, experience, and grounds for accreditation. A person shall not be qualified to be an arbitrator unless he is an advocate within the meaning of Advocate Act 1961, having 10 years of experience. As an advocate is a chartered accountant within the meaning of Chartered Accountant Act 1949, having 10 years of practical experience as chartered accountant, or has been an officer of Indian Legal Service, or has been an officer with law degree having 10 years of experience in legal matters of government and autonomous bodies, public sectors, undertaking or at senior level management position in private sector, or has been an officer with engineering degree, having 10 years of experience as an engineer in government, autonomous bodies, public sector, undertaking or at senior level managerial position in private sector, self-employed, or means engineers, as in an officer having C-level experience of administration in center or state government, or having experience of senior level management of a public sector undertaking, a government company or private company of repute, is a person in any other case having educational qualification at degree level with 10 years of experience in scientific or technical stream in fields of telecom, information technology, intellectual property rights or other specialized areas. The government, autonomous bodies, public sector undertaking a senior level management position in private sector as case may be. General laws of the arbitrator shall be person of general reputation of fairness. Arbitrator shall be a person of general reputation of fairness, integrity, and capable to apply objectivity in arriving at settlement of disputes, must be impartial and neutral, and avoid entering into any financial business or other relationship that is likely to affect impartiality or might reasonably create an appearance of partiality or bias amongst parties. Arbiters should not involve in any legal proceedings and avoid potential conflict connected with dispute to be arbitrated. Arbiters should not have convicted of an offence involving moral turpitude or economic offence. Arbitrators should be conversant with Constitution of India, principles of natural justice, equity, common and customary laws, commercial laws, labor laws, law of torts, making and enforcing arbitral awards. Arbitrators should possess robust understanding of domestic and international legal system on arbitration and international best practices in regard thereto. Arbitrators should be able to understand key elements of contractual obligations in civil and commercial disputes and be able to apply legal principles to situation under dispute and also to apply judicial decisions on a given matter relating to arbitration. Arbiters should be capable of suggesting, recommending, or writing a reasoned and enforceable arbitral award in whatever dispute which comes before him for adjudication. Section 26 of cancellation shall be omitted and shall be deemed to have been omitted with effect from 21st October 2015, and that is section 26. Let me see very simple. Yeah, it's a engineer. Says yeah, it's a five. Has been an officer with engineering degree having 10 years of experience as an engineer in government, autonomous bodies, public sector undertaking, or at least senior managerial position in private sector, self-employed. This has been officer with engineering degree, 10 years experience. That is what is important here, and so we can say that what is required is requirement is this, that basic requirement norms for arbitrators qualifications are general norms applicable to arbitrator. Arbitrator shall be a person of general reputation of fairness. Close this server because we will talk it later on. Now it's gone. Important points here to note: general norms applicable to arbitrator. Arbitrator shall be a person of general reputation of fairness, integrity, and capable to apply objectivity in arriving at settlements of disputes. आर्बिट्रेटर शैल बी पर्सन जनरल, अच्छी इज्जत होनी चाहिए, उसके साफ होना चाहिए, इंटेग्रिटी होनी चाहिए. Arbitrator must be impartial and neutral and avoid entering into whatever financial business or other relationship that is likely to affect impartiality or might reasonably create and avoid potential conflict connected with whatever dispute arbitrated by him. Arbitrator should not have been convicted of any offence involving moral turpitude or economic offence. Arbitrator shall be conversant with Constitution of India, भारत का संविधान, principles of natural justice, प्राकृतिक न्याय के सिद्धांत, equity, बराबरी, common, सामान्य and customary laws, कमर्शियल लॉज, व्यापारिक नियम, लेबर लॉज, वर्कफोर्स के नियम, लॉ ऑफ टोर्ट्स मेकिंग एंड एनफोर्सिंग arbitral awards. Arbitrators should possess robust understanding of domestic and international legal system on arbitration and international best practices in regard thereto. Arbitrators should be able to understand key elements of contractual obligations in civil and commercial disputes and be able to apply legal principles to a situation under dispute, and also to apply judicial decisions on a given matter relating to arbitration. Arbitrators should be capable of suggesting, recommending, or writing a reasoned and enforceable arbitral award in whatever dispute which comes before him for adjudication. Discuss later on about changes in 2018 too, though this may not be major changes, but qualification is important. You can say here also what should be done, what should be capability of an arbitrator. That's also a point here. So we can say we can close it down now, and we'll see how much more we can extract from this. Now, purpose of stock means about, it's not quality only in work; it's quality in arbitration as well. So we have to take that note also very significantly, and it's a part of professional engineering. I can say very well that arbitration is also, it must have also quality, that you must have quality professionals, you must have quality arbitrators, and of course, there are so many complications in that, means that doesn't matter. As far as everybody is fair, everybody thinks about clients, or you can say people and justice, and it should be clearly remarkable if we can understand this. And I think it's better use your experience for good one. Otherwise, nothing is wrong, you can say everything is fine, but it should be better. I think so. So I would say I like to close this talk today. Already 3 hours passed. It's about 3 hours, and we can close it. So thank you very much. We'll meet again. हम आपसे फिर मिलेंगे. आपका धन्यवाद. बात करेंगे आर्बिट्रेशन की, बात करेंगे आर्बिट्रेशन लॉ की 96 वाले की, बात करेंगे अमेंडमेंट 15 की, बात करेंगे अमेंडमेंट 18 की, और कैसे आगे बढ़ा जाए. बात करेंगे आर्बिट्रेशन काउंसिल की भी, अगर मैं देखूंगा कुछ मिल सकता है तो आर्बिट्रेशन काउंसिल के साइट से देखेंगे कौन सी बनी, और 1 मिनट सर्च भी कर सकते हैं अभी अगर चाहें तो. आर्बिट्रेशन काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया, जरा 1 मिनट होल्ड कीजिए, मैं देख लूँगा है कि मेरी मिलती है कि नहीं. आर्बिट्रेशन काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया, आर्बिट्रेशन काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया. That's why more and more companies are turning to Indian Council of Arbitration under leadership of Dispute Services in India, Arbitration Council of India, Arbitration Council of India, particularly sovereign of India. It is no, it's not that. That's applying to arbitration law in Council of Arbitration. In Council of Arbitration is the Premier Arbitration Society Association Act. No, it's not that one. So Amendment Bill 2021, Arbitration and Conciliation Amendment Bill 2021, yes, another one, 21, 2021 Act. Arbitration Council Amendment Bill, Arbitration Council of India, that's most. Which one is that council? Indian Council of Arbitration or Arbitration Council of India, is that? I don't think it's that one. No. That's why more and more companies are turning to Indian Council of Arbitration and Arbitration Council of India, or Indian Council of Arbitration, Arbitration Council of India, that is. Let us see what's that. Arbitration Council of India, Arbitration Council is recognized the was amended in 2015 by Arbitration Council Act 2015. This was done so as to make arbitration process more user friendly, and this is done, and so this is enact does not intend to hurt settlement of any individual community, section, religion. So the Arbitration Council of India will carry out various functions to give most of, let's say, Arbitration Council of India. It is, what does it say? You'll see later on. We'll be go through this. We'll all come to this. So okay, fine. We now close it. It's better to close it for time being. We'll see how to do it.